Yeah, I announced that I'm starting the show so we don't accidentally say shit that we're not supposed to here on. Oh, damn, I said shit in the first couple of seconds. Ah, damn it.
Yes, you did.
Well, that fucked this show up. Hi,
Yep.
guys. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody. Notice I didn't say any swear words in the opening of the show.
Well,
See, I'm a professional.
that's fair. In fairness, the show hadn't technically opened. So YouTube, you got to judge it by when I say welcome to the show, because that's actually the start of the show.
I don't think they're that charitable.
But that's how that's how it should work. Jack,
Should,
how you doing tonight?
Life's like that. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm in good spirits, which is always what I'm shooting for. And I was telling you before this, and I stopped our conversation because I thought it'd be more interesting to have this conversation here. So, guys, the last 5 videos that I put, last 5 streams, let's call them what they are, because you're not allowed to call them videos anymore. There's even a separate tab for them, Jack. Do you ever go looking for a live stream on somebody's thing and you can't find it at first, and then you remember, oh yeah, they split it up between live and videos?
Yeah, it bugs the shit out of me.
I kind of like that they did it because people who are looking for videos, it can get annoying when it's just filled up with streams. I understand that part, but I'm too old for that shit. My brain doesn't work that way.
I don't want to learn new things.
Yeah, exactly.
My ass.
So the last 5, let's see, in this order, it was the Ethan Klein one, the Corinne Jean-Pierre one, and then the 3 that were related to the Crowder thing. Of those, my own opinion here, based on being the person who said this stuff, I said far more horrible shit in the Crowder ones. Just my opinion, and people can disagree with that, but they certainly weren't, the Corinne Jean-Pierre one and the Ethan Klein one. Those were not worse by any means. However, those 2 did not get monetized, while all 3 of the Crowder versus Daily Wire did. Coincidence, Jack? Do you think it's just like timing?
Sure. Convenient timing.
It's certainly not that taking shots at the left will get you in trouble and shots at the right is fine. Buddha, thank you so very much. Happy Friday night, early Saturday morning to you as well. Lord Famine, thank you so much. Pitching in for Little Butt. Thank you. Yeah, she's doing quite well over there. She's the 3rd highest generator of money in the charity run there at her school.
Nice.
Thanks to you guys. It's all you guys right now. So I appreciate that. I will get that over there. Yeah, I just thought it was funny that there's a pattern emerging. This one, even if I hadn't started swearing at the beginning of it, was not going to get monetized because we're going to be talking about whether or not Joe Biden has dementia.
Do you know how much Mini Munchkin's losing by?
She's down by like $50.
Ah, there you go, comrade.
The highest, yeah, she's at I want to say it's 288 or 289, and the top is maybe it's only $40. The top is like 320, so somewhere around there. But yeah, let's talk about Joe Biden. Today is the 20th. Do you guys know what that means? That means Joe Biden has been in office for 2 years. So if he were to step down, Jack, whoever his replacement was would not have the rest of this term counted against the amount of time they can be president. Because here in the United States, you can be president for 8 years. Everybody knows that. However, the truth of the matter is you can be president for 8 years and almost a full and another 2 years minus a day. Technically, you can be president for 1 day less than 10 years. Kamala can arguably get 10 years now. Yeah, exactly. That's the truth of the matter. And when Biden was first elected, I was one of those people like, he's not going to make it a couple of months. And I wish I was smart enough to have thought of this, but it was somebody in the audience who pointed out, actually, if he makes it 2 years, Kamala can be president for 10. And like, ooh.
Well, that's been our theory since early on, because we called his dementia at the beginning of the campaign.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it was fairly obvious what was going on here is that he was some sort of puppet. But yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a shit show if she ends up president. Can you imagine her presiding over World War III? We are going to lose so fucking fast.
It would look like a bad Hollywood movie. It really would.
Yeah.
10 years of president knee pads. Something like that. Yeah. It's a theory. Oh my God, Comrade Kitty. Thank you. That will put her well above first place. Thank you. Here you go, Monk Ford Littlebutt. I appreciate that. And so does she. She lights up when she sees this stuff. You guys make her day. You really do. When her mom informs her each morning of where it's at. So thank you for that, Comrade Kitty. That's so very generous. I wasn't sure what to. There's lots of stuff I want to talk about on the show tonight, Jack. And I wasn't really sure, like, wow, what do I want to lead off with? What thumbnail do I want? What do I want to talk about that'll bring people in? And Biden's always a good one, of course, because, I mean, he's a mentally deficient old man who's running the largest military in the world.
Crazy old man with nuke codes. Can't really go wrong. That's a sitcom waiting to happen.
Yeah. My sister told me today that crazy thing about Biden leaving office exactly 2 years you told me about back then is kind of seeming likely now. Yeah, devil's advocate, you mentioned earlier that several people made that. I'm pretty sure you're the one who said it that made my brain finally go, wait a minute, that's actually a good point. Michael, thank you so much for the kiddo. She's going, okay, now I actually have to start writing down the amounts. Because I got to transfer these over here after. Thank you so very much for that, Michael. I appreciate it. So what made me decide on this topic, though, was the show The Breakfast Club. Or it's just Breakfast Club. It's not The Breakfast Club. That's the movie, right?
Yeah, that's a movie. And
that's a movie.
Much more entertaining piece of media.
Breakfast Club is a radio show hosted by, Charlemagne the Great? Is that what they call him? I know it's Charlemain. I don't remember the rest.
Charlemagne the God.
The God. Oh yeah, the God. Not the Great. That's not enough.
Yeah, that's whatever. The guy's got like a really innocuous, stupid, normal name too.
Yeah, and all of them do, man. Yeah, because nobody names their kid Charlemagne the God, although they should.
Why would you name yourself that? Like, that's very arrogant. You don't want to challenge the actual gods. They tend to frown on people that, right? Leonard, Larry, McKelvey. That's Charlemagne's name.
Is that his real name?
Yeah. It's not spelled right either. Leonard is spelled with an O. His is just Lenard.
Well, doesn't he spell Charlemagne wrong?
I think he does.
Thank you so much, Vol Potato. If Biden is going to be taken out of the White House, it probably won't be for a few more months, just to make it look like it's not as planned as though it would happen now. Also, for the little butt, thank you. You guys are so kind. I don't think it'll happen immediately. I don't think it'll be like tomorrow. My prediction is about 3 months. But we're starting to see cracks in people who before would just defend the man. No, he's definitely not any kind of, no, he's fine. And this clip from Charlemagne is just a one in a growing chorus of people who used to defend Biden or are clearly on the left, who are starting to ask questions you and I have been asking since the election. So I wanted to go over this little video. Sorry it's shot like this. It's not mine. I didn't do it. Oh, it is The Breakfast Club. Look at that. Huh. Can tell how often I watch their stuff, Jack. Usually I will only watch them if they have a guest on that I really like, or they have a guest on that turns out to be like funny. Because The Breakfast Club is where we get the classic Kamala. I smoked weed in my college dorm listening to Tupac.
A couple years before he became a thing.
Before he was a thing, yeah. Anyhow, check volume here.
I think it's ambitious of Biden.
It's fine.
Good. Okay. I hit play, damn it.
Don't y'all think it's ambitious of Biden to be announcing his future plans?
I was going to ask you,
Like,
do you
when
think he
you're
should
that
be
age-
tested? Do you think he should be tested before he's able to announce that he should be able to run?
Tested for what?
What do you mean tested?
For what,
Yeah.
oldness?
Dementia.
Well, how come
Dementia.
nobody? I don't understand.
I
Like,
don't think so.
No.
Yeah. Why? I mean, are you suggesting that have you seen something that suggests that he has dementia?
Yeah.
Have you seen something that suggests Biden has dementia? Yeah.
At least a dozen things. We talk about
At
it all the
least.
time on here.
I don't know how you can live in this day and age, especially these if I remember correctly, they're aides to some congressional people. They're congressional aides. How can you be in politics and not have seen any signs of this?
Right.
Again, even if you want to excuse some of the stuff in the election, you know, like him forgetting what fucking state he was in, him forgetting all kinds of stuff, challenging people to fights when there was no reason to. By the way, dementia does tend to make people angry.
Mm-hmm.
But him just drifting. How many times have we seen him now where somebody has to go, hey, somebody grab the president. He's going to walk off a cliff.
Right. He's totally Mr. Magoo.
And I'm surprised they haven't put one of those child leashes on him yet.
Oh, give them time. I think, like I've said before, I think it's getting to the point where they can't hide it anymore. I know you kind of disagree with that, but it's more and more obvious. All these little signs are adding up, and more people are starting to notice. And I don't think they can continue to hide it every time.
I look, they can continue to hide it as long as they want to, as long as he's useful.
Yeah, but once he reaches a certain cognitive wall, he's not useful anymore.
Well, I mean, he still is as a figurehead. If he's doing what, you know, he's signing where he's supposed to sign, you just keep him hidden. And we saw that all through the fucking campaign. Oh, what, they put a lid on it. It's 8 a.m. Oh yeah, it's a lid for the day. We can't talk anymore. We'll see you next Friday. Real quick, Chicago Mike, thank you so very much. It's very, very kind of you. For Little Butt, I dare you to start a show saying George Carlin's 7 dirty words. If we get a President Harris, I'm tempted to move to Canada. Thank you so very much for that. Look, man, that we don't. I'm not afraid. I just have to remember what all they are. What's I know cocksucker, motherfucker is how it ends. Tits, shit. Was piss one of them? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I'd have to go back and watch the bit again. It's so long since I've seen it. But the great thing about that bit is it's actually part of like U.S. law. It's been read into the congressional record and shit. It's wonderful. Isn't it part of a Supreme Court case too?
Probably.
Yeah. But if you've never seen his 7 dirty words, nowadays actually it's a little bit out of date. Because there's a couple of them you can say on TV and have been said on TV.
Yeah. Well, that bit is like 40 years old, so.
Yeah, it comes from the 60s, actually, doesn't it? It's either the 60s or early 70s when he did that bit. All right. So have you seen any signs of dementia?
I saw him talking to a ghost.
Yeah, he was talking. he was talking.
True story. True story. Talking to a ghost, trying to shake hands with him, waving at him. He's like the little kid in The Sixth Sense, man. He sees dead people.
To the ghost, he forgets a lot. There's times where he looks confused, doesn't know where he's
Did you
walking.
see him in the church the other day?
They write things on his hand and on napkins,
That
so
was a
he
black
knows.
church. And
Okay, I don't know if you could hear all the crosstalk there, but Charlemagne says, "Did you see him in the church the other day?" And she goes, "Well, that was a black church." Do you know the video they're talking about, Jack?
No.
It's a video where they start singing, and Warnock's up there because is he still the preacher at that church?
Probably.
He was when he ran for office. I don't know if he still is, but he's up there and he's kind of swaying back and forth. And you have the choir behind him all singing, and the church is obviously all singing. And Biden looks like he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, I did see that clip. I thought he was like, because everybody's kind of dancing, swaying.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It looks confusing.
And at one point he even does like this little thing with it. He's got his arms by his side and he kind of raises them up and his shoulders up a little bit. Like, I don't know. He looked scared to be around black people at that minute, if I'm being honest. But that's what they're talking about. She's like, oh no, but it's a black church. It had nothing to do with it being a black church. It had to do with him being, him. He's lost his fucking mind, man. He forgets her name and just mumbles it. I mean, Biden referred to his son dying in Iraq.
Multiple times. Well, he's also claimed that the guy that hit his wife was drunk when he wasn't. And he's done that several times. He's been sued for that. So
yeah,
sometimes it's hard to tell when he's just lying and when he's demented.
I think the one with his kid is demented because look, neither of his sons died in Iraq. It would be one thing if he had a son die in Iraq, say like Bo died in Iraq, and he accidentally said that Hunter died in Iraq. Okay, you messed up the name. You forgot where your kid died? He died in a hospital in Delaware, if I remember correctly. Might have been Maryland. He had brain cancer, and this motherfucker constantly, yeah, my son died in Iraq. No, and the one you're talking about, that was him lying. This goes back years. He actually got sued. His wife and daughter died in a car accident when the boys were very young, and the guy who hit him, he kept claiming had been drunk, and his daughter, the guy's daughter, because he didn't die from the accident. He died later.
Yeah.
And his daughter sued for defamation because there is absolutely no evidence that the guy was drunk, that he'd even been drinking at all. Yeah. Joe Biden's always been a dirty, filthy piece of shit. He really has.
His dead wife as a photo op.
Yep.
I mean,
repeatedly.
If you don't think that's dirty,
Well, they've also lied. I don't know if you've seen the stuff that's come out. He's been lying about how him and Jill met.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her ex-husband come out and do a piece on it.
Yeah.
And wow, what a bitch.
Yeah. They make it sound like, oh, they just fell in love when they love at first sight kind of thing. Bullshit. She was a married woman and got introduced to Biden, and the families kind of hung out together a little bit. And then she just eventually starts banging Joe. She traded up, as women are prone to do. No, I'm just kidding, ladies. I love you.
That's why you can't trust them. I mean, real quickly, thank you, Comrade Kitty, for that feminist donation. They flashed back to the Civil War and was like, oh, Lordy, the turkeys. Civil War flashback.
I mean, he was around, 180 years ago, so it could be.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy. I'm sorry, I just heard that in like Amos and Andy voices.
Oh, yeah. Monk, his daughter sued because her dad had been in AA for 20 years. I didn't know about that part. I knew he wasn't drunk and that she was suing because it was defamatory, and it was. And Biden
she won that one too.
She did, yeah. Because it was absolute bullshit what Biden was out there doing. But hey, he's not the liar Trump is. Did Trump ever lie about how about his wife died?
Dean just dropped the link on Joe at the Black Church if anyone wants to see it.
Oh God, that video. You know what? We'll watch that in a minute if we can. But let's finish with these guys here because, oh my God.
Yeah, I write
bit
stuff
out of his
on
element.
napkins.
But he writes things on napkins like "leave after this," "look left," like
The
that.
man was singing
Oh,
happy
that's so-
birthday to
you
somebody
guys-
and forgot the person's name.
Yes, like
Oh, that's normal too.
No,
Let
it's
me.
not.
That is not normal.
You singing happy birthday to somebody and forgot their name. That's normal.
If you don't know the person, maybe.
Maybe.
It's the first time you ever met them, but it's not normal to have a note card telling you when to wait for claps and who's who. That just the preponderance of it,
But look how in denial these two girls are.
Wow.
These guys are pointing to some very obvious stuff. And remember, these are very liberal men. Like all the way on the left side, period. That's it. If you guys watch them and it comes up political, it's going to be the left side of the fence, hard left side. But these asking where the dead woman is. Yeah, I forgot about that one, Faithless.
Yeah.
Like, where is she? She died in Iraq with your son, Joe.
Did he once ask Governor Abbott to take a stand?
Yes, he did.
Was that Abbott? Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking ridiculous.
For those who don't know why that's funny, Governor Abbott of Texas is wheelchair bound and has been for a long time. And he's sitting there in his wheelchair, and Joe points to him and goes, take a stand. Because Joe's smart.
Smart.
Yes, it is. It's very
I
normal.
think that happens.
Let me say this.
It's very normal. I think it happens.
About the leave after, that's a staffer passing him a note. And I'll tell you this for a fact. Like Capitol Hill, we have to do all kinds of things to our boss, like write in big letters to our boss, time to go. You got to go vote. They sound very basic to people that run every part, every aspect.
No, we're not talking about things like, hey, it's time to go vote. You're in the middle of something here. I got to get your attention so we can get you to go do the rest of your job. We're talking about, hey, Joe, look over this way when you talk. Thank you, Snubber. Follow up on the Ranting thing. Reminder over a screenshot of a 7-year-old public YouTube video.
Could you read that again? Because there was a sound effect over your voice.
Thank you, Snubber. Follow up on the Venti thing. Reminder, this is over a screenshot of a 7-year-old, and there goes the other one. God damn it. Reminder, this is a follow-up over a screenshot of a 7-year-old public YouTube video. I will check that out. Thank you so much for the donation. That's very kind. And now I got 2 of them over here. I'm going to sing happy birthday to the wrong person just in honor of Joe.
It was Senator Chuck Graham, not Abbott.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that was my fault. I thought it was Abbott.
So did I. I could have swore it was Abbott. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Wasn't Biden's made up story of how he met Jill even worse than the truth? He once said she was 13 and he was like 30. No, because at that point, yes and no, because that's not actually part of his official story of how they met. That is more of the added bullshit that he always is doing. So I get what you're saying there, Pumpkin Trucker, but not exactly. And Frank, thank you so much. Wait, she's only in 3rd place. We must do better. If not obvious, this is for little one. Thank you so very much. That is very, very kind. Good God, she's raking it in tonight.
I need to get some grandkids.
Well, all of this goes to the American. And look, I said this last year, and I haven't said it this year. If this was for a charity I didn't actually like, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, here, kiddo, here's some from Grandpa. But I do like the American Heart Association. Heart disease, #1 killer of people in America, and it needs more attention. It is a damn shame that so many other charities, titty cancer, get so much attention when heart disease literally is by far the biggest killer in America. By far.
Well, a lot of that is down to eating, which my bag of Doritos over here said is not an issue.
Well, it's not. It's taking care of ourselves in general.
Well, I am starting the American Jack Association, and it's just a fundraiser to get me money to bang Asian chicks.
There you go. All right.
Their lives. You getting baptized on fire with this right now.
But he spoke to a ghost. He spoke to a person that wasn't there.
And when they gave him the directions when he was leaving, it said up, left, down, select, start.
Okay.
For those of you who don't get that joke, that's an old video game joke. That's actually a cheat code. What fucking game was that? Been a long time. I used to play that game.
I don't
What's
know.
the video game that had the cheat code for up, down, down, left, right, left, right?
That's the Konami code, isn't it?
Was it for all of their games?
Yeah, or most
Okay.
of them. I know you could do it in Contra.
Contra, that's the one I used to do it in. There you go.
Spud said he sent you a link to the 7 dirty words.
Oh, thank you.
Well, then let me ask you
This is
this:
silly.
Would you
This is
rather have?
silly. This is silly.
But then let-
This is silly. We're talking about the president of the United States possibly being demented. This is silly. He talks to people who aren't there.
Well, okay, so this is weird, but he talks to people that aren't there, but he also talked to somebody that shouldn't be there in real, like the Easter Bunny, who then told him what to do and he did it. So, which is worse, talking to nobody or talking to fictional talking animals?
Well, at least the Easter Bunny helped him out, told him where to go.
Let me ask this: Would you all rather have Biden with dementia or Trump with all of his issues?
That's not the issue right now. That's a question you asked if they would have had the balls to bring up his clear dementia in the election. Okay.
Yeah. which has only gotten worse.
Notice she didn't say, do you want demented Biden or Kamala?
Yeah, well, nobody wants Kamala.
I agree, but that's the actual choice right now. Right? And they're talking about going forward into the 2024 election, right? But if Biden has dementia, why would you want, I don't care how bad you think Trump is, why would you want the person who has the fucking nuclear codes to have fucking dementia?
Right? Like, say what you will about Trump. He didn't launch any nukes, and that was a hyperbolic assessment. He didn't actually do it.
Thank you, Ebony, for Grandbaby Whisper and the American Heart Association. Thank you so very much for that.
Real quickly, thank you, Chicago Mike. Here's for your American Jack Association. Thanks, man. That's generous. Yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you, Pete, for the Asian Chick Fund. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Two wings on the same bird. That's how
disagree.
I feel.
I disagree.
Well, if the bird is America,
And
sure.
I don't know
Both
why
presidents.
And I don't know why y'all sleeping on Trump like Trump can't win, because y'all know that Republicans gonna get
He
behind
could,
whoever
or
is
even
the
worse,
candidate.
DeSantis.
I don't think that any of us are sleeping on anybody. I think the reality of it is we engage a lot in saying, oh, it's just as bad. People did this to Hillary Clinton when she was running in 2016.
Yeah.
It was, the lesser of two
Could y'all
evils.
be honest for a second?
Okay. People called Hillary a crazy, horrible bitch. They said lots of stuff about her. None of them questioned her mental capacity. They said she was getting sick. Like maybe she wasn't physically able to do that. Nobody was out there going, oh, Hillary, she's got dementia. That is a big difference. Like an incredibly big difference. You know, Jack, sometimes you can get over physical ailments. There is no cure for dementia. Thank you, Travis Gardner. They used to call Reagan demented while he was in office, and they were nowhere near this bad. And Reagan actually had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go back and look at some of the things he did late in his second term, you can see some similarities.
Yeah, officially he came down with Alzheimer's after he left office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you could absolutely see some of the same signs we're seeing now.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous. I don't want any world leader with anywhere near this much power being demented. That is incredibly dangerous. You accidentally can start a war. He could flash back thinking that it's like 1975 and the Ruskies are on the precipice of doing something that happened back then, and he launches an attack, a preemptive attack, thinking that something else is happening.
Look,
that could actually happen.
With his Forrest Gump syndrome, where he's put himself everywhere, he might think the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis is going on.
Yeah, exactly. And if he thinks that's going on, and he's like, launch the bombers at Cuba, or Cuba, however he pronounces it.
Cuba. Don't forget, Biden has had, 2 aneurysms?
Yeah, I think he had 2 aneurysms and a couple of strokes.
It's not like it would be unheard of for a man at his age who's been through the kind of traumatic brain problems that he's had to be suffering from dementia. It's all right. It's enough of this. I'll throw this into chat if you guys want to watch the rest of it, and we'll watch Biden dance here in a second. Well, dance is probably the wrong word for that. We'll watch him stand there and looking. Oh, Jesus, why can't I? Hang on a second.
Oh, monkey broke the internet.
No, for some reason, I went here from a different link. I got to this link from a news story, and so it's not the actual short Twitter one. So now I got to go over there and actually get their Twitter one, because the one from the news site is like way too long to actually share. I hate when that happens. I don't know why that happens. All right, so there it is on the YouTubes. Hang on, guys. I'm coming over here, and there you go on the Humble. Anyway, I guarantee behind closed doors he's not running anything, and everybody at the White House knows it. You don't need him to actually run anything, but you also don't want him to be completely useless. Who do you think is running things?
Ron Klain.
Ron Klain.
Maybe Susan Rice is doing a lot of stuff back there too, and Obama's advising, but I think Ron Klain really runs everything.
Travis Gardner, thank you so much. That is so very generous. For the American Heart Association, I have to go in for an echocardiogram and a stress test. I hope everything's fine, my friend.
Yeah, dude. Don't stress about it. Just, you deal with it as it comes, but I hope everything works out for you.
I hate stress tests, man. Hey, run. I don't like to run. I like to run when I want to run, not because somebody tells me to. I enjoy running, actually, but if somebody tells me to, I'm like, no, fuck you. I ain't running.
Nothing's chasing me.
Piss off. I hated running in school. I would run for hours, out on my own and stuff, playing and doing that kind of stuff. But it's like, okay, Frank, you have to run. Like, I don't want to run. Fuck you. All right. Didn't you say somebody had shared? There it is. I really want to get to Biden dancing. What? Why the fuck did it open in this? Joe at the Black Shirt. Okay, sorry, I had to fix something over here because for some reason occasionally you'll open something and it opens in the chat tab and that pisses me off. Okay, so this is from Biden being at the Black church the other day. Remember, guys, he grew up and eventually went to Black churches after he saw the error of mass, I guess. I don't remember. He decided he was going to Black churches, and this is how comfortable he looks at a Black church. Look at him.
Oh, this is crazy. What's happening?
Huh? I get, maybe he can't dance and all that, but the way he moves, his facial expressions, how confused he looks so very often. Just because somebody's in, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's or what is leading to the dementia, because other things can lead to it, but it's clearly there. If you have somebody in your family with Alzheimer's, you're going to learn this. It's at the beginning, it's not constant. Sometimes they're perfectly cognizant, and then they have their lapses. And you wouldn't know the problem unless you saw that problem. So you can be normal. He can go out there and actually give a little speech. And then as shit goes on, nobody even knows what triggers, I don't know what you would call it, an episode.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what triggers it. But it's quite clear on this man. And the whole point of the show itself here, Jack, though, is that other people are starting to bring it up. People on the left are starting to bring up issues with Biden.
People who called us conspiracy theorists early on.
Yeah.
Anybody that thought that's a conspiracy theorist and right-wing talking points, blah, blah, they are now bringing this stuff up. They are now questioning his mental fitness. And it's actually very important that we notice that, because it's also happening right as this investigation is heating up.
You have the investigation heating up, which oddly just happens to leak in January of 2023. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that they're setting it up. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they will get him out of office. They're going to do it. But the plans are in motion. You can see the wheels starting to turn. Old Guy Gamer says, I watched my mother die of Alzheimer's 3 years ago. Dude, I'm so sorry. My dad, he just passed in his sleep, and that was tough. Having to watch somebody go through that, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I can't.
It's not fun.
But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
That blows.
Trying to inhale the youth out of kids is no longer working.
Well, it can only sustain a hair vampire so long.
So in my estimation, like I said, I give it maybe 3 months. Sometime within the next 3 months, there'll be a reason Biden has to step down. Either he'll have a major stroke, or they'll push an investigation and he'll step aside, so America can get back to the important business. Something like that, something stupid. And then Biden will go away and we will have President Kamala Harris, who literally dick sucked her way to power.
Well, it just shows the power of good oral, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard she's a role model for young girls. Apparently, what we're teaching our youth is, hey, if you want to get ahead, suck your way up there. She is a horrible role model for girls. Horrible.
Yeah,
She got all of her power from sucking dick. Okay, maybe not all. We don't know that she didn't do anal.
Yeah, to be fair, her family got some power from slavery.
But yeah, that was in Jamaica. But her power specifically, that's the power of sex.
The first female president got the job handed to her by a man. Yeah, that'll be a serious irony, won't it?
Yeah. But they'll finally, not only will they have their first female president, it'll be the first female president of color. Don't forget the importance of that.
Can we say the sex worker in chief?
But probably, yeah, it's accurate.
Nah, she's just a common whore.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I don't know, because this is really dangerous. She's an incompetent buffoon, and he's demented. I don't know which is worse, because they're both likely to get us involved in a war.
Prince of Cats, thank you so much. That is very generous. Got the jumping lemon and the little lime jump in there too. I love the little lime. I really do. Thank you. So very generous.
Makes me want Sprite.
Kind of does, actually. Now, I didn't want it till you said it, you little bastard.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Harris's actions as AG was frightening. Harris is not a good person. So we won't have Joe in the Ho 2024. I know, probably not. I don't see Joe surviving this term. So.
Yeah, well, I expect the CIA to give him an injection of something. I mean, he's probably going to get sick and go away. Or they're going to say that this cancer scare with Jill is enough to get him to resign so they can spend more time or whatever.
My guess would be that it's going to be a medical thing that takes him out. Probably a stroke.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Rather than taking it, if you have him removed, say for the scandal with all of the papers, that is a blot on the president going in, because she worked with him, and it's just, the power of association. But if she takes over because Biden had a medical episode and nearly died, or did die, who knows, then she comes in as a sympathetic character.
Yeah, she's a hero then. She took over where he fell. She stepped up to the plate. Look at how stunning and brave she is.
Not just that, you're downplaying the part of the sympathy for. Look, man, they campaigned together. This is her friend, her boss, her mentor. Watch that fucking word.
Yeah.
And she's doing this while dealing. You'll see articles. How is Kamala Harris doing this with all the grief that came with it? It's sad. It's so predictable.
Yeah. Real quick, I got a couple things here. Thank you, Keldrick. If you want to get ahead, you got to give some head. It's true, ladies. It's true. And thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. But Jack, I never understood how electricity worked until that Dizzy slut explained it to us. Oh my God, that video is so insulting. I swear kindergarten teachers write her scripts for her.
I want to just point this out because we keep making the comments about it. For anybody who's questioning whether or not we're, just joking or there's any truth to the fact that Kamala sucked her way to power, this is known. She was banging Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco, very powerful figure at the time. He was married, but don't worry, him and his wife, they were kind of sort of split up. Not exactly, but kind of sort of. So he was allowed to bang other women. Sure, why not? And he helps get her elected. And then he helps push her into the AG spot. G spot. And without her being there, she never makes it to the Senate. Without the Senate run, she never becomes the vice president. She is where she is by sucking the dick of a powerful man. Or hey, look, maybe she doesn't do oral, okay? Maybe she's a strictly missionary. That's how the Bible says I should do it kind of girl. I don't know. It's just funnier to say blowjobs. Anyhow.
Hey, can we show that video of her talking about electricity?
Yeah, if you got it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's the last link now, the one from RNC research.
Got you. Do. Does she talk about Venn diagrams in this one?
No, or her love of electric school buses. Shockingly, no.
Shocking high about electricity.
Yeah,
Real
see what I
quick
did there?
over on the Streamlabs. Thank you so very much. Dixie Rose, a feminist $12 and a little extra for Little Butt. Thank you so very much. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Man, Little Butt's raking it in tonight.
Well, everybody likes that kid, so.
Yeah, I was talking to Lady Monkey about that before the show. I'm like, it's Little Butt. Little Butt has kind of grown up on the show. She hasn't been here for a long time, but when she was a baby and she'd come and hang out with me and chat sometimes. She's almost like a mascot of the show.
Well, I think half the audience is here just in case she wanders into the room and starts talking.
Oh, dude, I know the audience is here just in case Lady Monkey or Little Butt shows up. It's not for me. It's all right, guys. I'm okay with it as long as you're here.
It's important to know our place.
We also, it's just you got to have a sense of reality, Jack.
That's true.
Unlike Kamala Harris here. We're going to watch another video with her after this, too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's Kamala's day. Do you think she got really excited because today was the 20th and she's like, yes, I know my time's coming?
Yeah. She's, that meme of that black dude by the tree rubbing his hands together?
Oh, yeah.
That's her right now.
Today, America has more than 500,000 miles of transmission lines, enough to wrap around the globe 24 times. These lines connect the power plants where electricity is created to homes and businesses and schools and hospitals across our nation.
Is she playing SimCity?
Quite possibly. Or the
Think
person
about
that
it.
wrote the speech did.
Every time you turn on a light or charge your laptop or plug in your air conditioner or put leftovers in the fridge, you rely on the power delivered by our nation's network of transmission lines. Today,
Or when you recharge your rechargeable dildo? I'm just saying. They make those now.
USB charged dildos?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Huh.
Eco-friendly, don't you know? You got to be eco-friendly when you're playing with your cooter.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like the juices would get in there.
Dude, they make ones that they can actually like upload to the internet and shit.
Why would you want that?
Don't ask. I didn't do it, man. I just know they exist.
What, you need an app for that? That's weird. Like, it's too much work to turn the little dial by reaching down. You got to use your phone.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Yeah, her mentor has a burning when he peed. Biden's mentor would have burned crosses on Kamala's lawn.
Wow.
He's not wrong. I mean, Biden's mentor was Bird. Her mentor is Willie Brown. So anyhow, there she is explaining. I don't know who writes her fucking speeches. She has the worst speeches in politics, bar none. And you're right. It's like they're written for kindergartners. It's like they're written for little kids and you're trying to explain things in the most basic possible way. It's like somebody once said to her, explain it to me like I'm 5, and that's all she remembers of that statement.
Yeah.
And so she explains everything that way.
Well, she probably does think everybody is stupid, so.
It's weird. When she was in the Senate, I mean, she was one of the best questioners up there. If you wanted somebody to actually grill somebody, she did a good job at it. I can't take that away from her. Doesn't mean I agree with what she was saying or that she wasn't pulling kind of gotcha stuff, but she projected this image of a smart, powerful woman. And now she comes off like a retard.
Well, she's fit.
Maybe she's got dementia too. I don't know what's in the water there at the DNC. But anyway, here she is, Jack. She's going to explain to us equity and equality.
Hang on before we do that. Thank you for the update, Black Romeo, who says those vibrators are used for long distance relationships and for cam girls. I
Yep.
think we all know it was designed for the cam girls, and the other one is just a little add-on bonus. But I never thought of that. Thank you.
They make ones that have little cameras in the front,
So you can
so
look
you can
inside the vagina.
yeah, in the tip of the head, like where the pee hole would be.
Oh,
So you can see it from that angle. Yeah.
Does it have like night vision?
I've never looked into it further than that. I hope there's a light, because otherwise it's just going to be dark.
Yeah, well, I mean, does that like how bright is that light too? Is when they're up there and they're walking around in a dress with their dildo in there, so nobody sees. Does it like is their uterus highlighted?
I wonder what the footage looks like. It's got to look like Cameron looking for the Titanic.
No, I think a man came up with that who didn't trust his woman, because he's like, I know some other dude's been filling you up with their seed, so you're gonna put this camera dildo in you so I can examine the insides.
I'm going to look myself. Anyway.
Yeah. I got off on a tangent.
Oh, that's really quiet. So
That is
I'll be quiet while she talks. You guys might have to turn it up a little bit.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
Communism. First, can we look at this and realize she's outdoors and somebody brought her a big, like, one of those chairs you can put money in and get a massage at the mall?
Yeah, I figured it was some sort of elaborate office chair, but it looks sort of like she's trying to be Captain Kirk.
It really does. What the hell is she? Oh, I don't know who did that. It just looks bad. This looks like somebody in a third world country running for president. You guys couldn't get her a decent. Never mind. Anyhow, yeah.
Real quick, thanks, Turds of the Americas. We don't want to hear she's stupider than we are. That's true.
She is. Oh my God. Anyhow, equity is where everybody ends up at the same place. I've been telling y'all forever, when they say equity, they mean communism, and they're finally being a lot more open about it, because that's what they mean. It from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. It's literally communism.
Yeah.
And it's preached over and over and over in every school across the land right now, because they've changed it all from equality to equity.
Yeah.
We have equity departments.
Yeah, it's just a way to end run around the Constitution so they can sneak it in. But BitTor 101 says that looks like a private jet seat plane, private plane seat that they took out of an airplane. It kind of does, but it does also look like a barber chair. So you guys,
it does look, I had the barber chair thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, but a private jet seat, I can see that. She's the type that would steal the furniture out of something when she leaves.
All right. I'm glad we brought up teachers, because that leads us to today's segment of Corinne Jean-Pierre is a fucking retard.
Oh my God, this woman is so bad at her job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. What was the White House's reaction to Governor Ron DeSantis's education department blocking the teaching of AP African American Studies, saying it violates Florida's new state law and, quote, significantly lacks educational value? Does the White House have concerns about this action by the DeSantis administration?
I want to pause right there. Do you remember how many times we've seen her recently say, I can't talk about that because that's political?
Yeah.
She's being asked about the political motivations of a state, not another state, but of the state of Florida, not federal policy. Do you think she's going to pull a, hey, look, that's a political matter, I'm not allowed to speak about that from the podium? If you think that, you're so naive, and there's so many things I want to sell you.
Yeah. Sideshow Latrine is just the worst person.
I love that nickname
I
because
know,
she
right?
does look like Sideshow. Oh my god, it's Sideshow Bob, right? I'm not a huge Simpson fan.
Yeah, voiced by Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey
A
Grammer,
legend.
yeah.
That man has a great voice for animation.
I love those episodes. I know I've seen like 3 or 4 of them. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Simpson fan, but those ones are always fun. All right, Sideshow, take it away.
So first, I want to be very clear. The administration does not dictate any curriculum for local schools. That is not something that we do here. But there is something that we do want to comment. It is.
We do want to make a political comment. I can't do that if it's, embarrassing to President Biden, but fuck it. It's not. So let's do it here.
Incomprehensible that to see that this is what this ban or this block.
This bitch says more than I do.
Yeah, I think that is her inability to memorize the responses that she's supposed to give. So that's when she's looking down.
She is a professional spokesperson.
She never said she was a good professional.
She's a professional spokesperson. Spit it out. Biden could have got it out faster.
Sideshow Mel would have fucked up.
This ban or this block, to be more specific, that DeSantis has put forward. If you think about the study of Black Americans, that is what he wants to block.
Wrong. That's a fucking lie.
Hate fact.
It is not to ban the study of Black Americans. Go read the bill. It bans things like teaching that one race is bad.
Yeah, it's mainly aimed at like the 1619 project, where that's full lies.
Yeah, 1619 and Kendi's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which are provably inaccurate.
And racist.
Yeah.
But it's racist against white people, and you can't be racist against white people because white people, bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a given.
Just watch Velma. Anyway.
And again, these types of actions aren't new. They are not new from what we're seeing, especially from Florida. Sadly, Florida currently bans teachers from talking about who they are and who they love. As we.
Why do they need to talk about who they are and who they love? How about teaching kids?
I know this is kind of a dead horse around these parts, but Jack, somebody said this on Twitter, and I hadn't even thought about it. I didn't even know most of my teachers' first names.
Yeah, that was like a major revelation.
Yeah, it was Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Lumpkin, who was one of my favorite teachers ever. I knew her first name. I've told the story before that when I was living in the hood at the time, and my English teacher, Miss Lumpkin, may God rest your soul, first day of class, she's doing roll, and she says, "My name," and because my legal name is Francis, that's what they would read on the roll call until I corrected them and say Frank. And she goes, "Francis, that's my name." And I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be a rough year.
You have teacher's name.
Not just that, she was a woman and I'm a dude, so have fun with that.
Yeah, well, the 80s were a little more toughening than the modern era.
It wasn't quite a boy named Sue, but it was close at times. Monkey, why are you like this? That's why. You're not your teacher. You are not your student's friend. They don't need to know your personal life. They shouldn't know your personal life. They're not there to be like, "Oh, how was your weekend?" That's not what you're there for.
Yeah, you're not hanging out with your friends.
These are your charges. You are there to teach them and keep them safe till it's time for them to go back home. You are not there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I said, you're not there to be their friend and tell them about who you're boning. Fuck, you shouldn't even really be telling them about your fucking hobbies.
Yeah, see, you said these are your charges. No, those charges come later after they've been a teacher for a little while.
Different kind of charge.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
That's when they violate their charges that they get charges.
Yeah.
So yeah, This is from the fucking White House. The fucking White House is out there. Teachers should be able to talk about the sex they have with their kids. I'm sorry. The love that they have. The love. I can't remember that guy. I can't tell my kids about going kayaking with my boyfriend. Why would you?
Yeah, that's not what you're there for, weirdo.
Keldrick, it seems to be singling you out lately because it has gone off. You guys heard it go off earlier. Apparently, my thing didn't go off for him. Keldrick, thank you so much. She didn't get her position by spitting it out. Wow. True.
Yeah. Well, everybody loves a swallower.
Thank you, Kyle. The students shouldn't even know the teacher's first name. They shouldn't. Look, if it comes out, I mean, it happens sometimes. Like my teacher doing it that day. She wasn't doing it so we could be friends or anything like that. Francis is a very unusual name. There's not many of us in the world. Certainly not in the United States, male or female. So that was one of those. Other than that, I can't think of a teacher that I knew their first name. Not a single fucking one. And I went to a lot of schools, Jack. We did the math one day. I went to something like 15 schools.
Holy shit.
Navy brat. So I went to and not a fucking one of them could I tell you anything personal about them. And in fact, if you asked, they would tell you that's none of your business.
Yeah, because it wasn't. There was a boundary. There was that professionalism and decorum, but there was also the authority figure boundary where you don't need to know this. Just do what I'm instructing you. You know, that's long gone. Everybody's got to be frenzies now. Real quick. Oh, sorry.
He says, the only thing I knew about my teacher's personal life is my chem teacher got knocked up in my freshman year. These days, it would have been by one of your classmates.
Yeah.
We had a teacher who got pregnant and she ended up going, we knew she was pregnant. We didn't know anything about her husband, or she just disappeared one day after she'd been growing, and we had a new teacher for the rest of the year. And then we had one teacher who got married, so her name changed. And so we knew she was married, and that was it. She didn't talk about the wedding. She didn't tell us about her. Nothing. Just she'd gotten married. I'm sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
Thank you, Circus Zero. I'm 15 minutes behind. Kamala is worse than a common whore. She's just a common core whore. That's a good one. Common core whore. I'm using that. Thanks, Kurt.
All right. That's that idiot who got mad at me. Guys, so for those of you who watched the after party, I talked about Andrew Tate. One of his little fans decided to take shots at me on Twitter today, and I just had fun with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The little pussy eventually blocked me. I don't blame him because I was being quite rude, but I hope you guys got a kick out of it because I had fun. I like when these little idiots show up, Jack. I really do. I have fun with it. It's amusing to me. You know, everybody, oh, Twitter's a dumpster fire. Yes. Put on your suit and jump in with us. Just get some
you like getting down in the mud.
Yeah, a little asbestos suit will help you. It's okay.
I get bored with that shit real quick. I don't care if people disagree with me. You have a right to disagree. I'm not going to sit there and argue, labor the point over and over again because I don't have time for that shit. I got real things to do.
Here's the thing. This wasn't an actual argument. He just came at me and told me that I was a loser because I'm not like Tate. And that sets the groundwork for, Monkey's about to have some fun.
Yeah, see, I just okay, cool story, bro. All right.
My friend Hobo X Bubba Hotep, thank you so very much for this. I'm about 15 minutes behind for a little bit. That is very, very kind of you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, whoever's number 2 as of tomorrow is going to have some catching up to do.
You have some work to do.
A lot of work to do. A little bit tonight, just to give you guys a heads up. Almost $300 there.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are so very generous. Thank you so much. Anyway,
a couple things. First, can we get the likes up? I don't want Monkey's ego getting bruised. Also, thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Teachers should be able to talk about the second that they have with kids. I agree. That way we know who gets fed to the hogs. Yeah. Well, you know, if they're getting handsy with the kids, then yeah, to the wood chipper. But I am a firm believer in cameras in classrooms now. Every parent should have access to what's going on in those classrooms. And they should also have to file their lesson plans in advance so that parents can see them.
If not cameras, which I want, because no, what about the rights of the student? Fine, at least microphones. Have that bitch mic'd up where we can hear it anytime we want to tune in. How about that? That's not going to violate any kids' rights. It's not showing their faces or anything. Should be pretty easy.
Well, I really don't care who sees the kids sitting in the classroom, honestly. I get it, but at the same time, you know who your kids' classmates are. So
now, Jack, this is not new documents found, but we have more information on Biden's documents.
Oh yeah, were they on his toilet? Like that's where he reads his secret stuff.
Biden's classified files were sent to another DC location before they were stored at the think tank by a team led by a team who was led by an aide who'd been recommended by Hunter, sparking more questions about document debacle.
It's starting to look more and more like Biden was getting these documents and handing them off to his kid.
Unlike the Trump one where it's like, I just took all the shit that's mine. This looks like they were actually, it's a very specific set of documents, Jack, that seems to, it's not like they just got mixed up in his stuff. Anyway, files from Biden VP office first went to a transition office near the White House. Then they went to a temporary Penn Biden space in downtown. Eventually went to Penn Biden think tank that paid Biden $900,000. A Biden lawyer discovered classified materials and called the National Archives. You know, they keep leaving this parts out. I don't know how friendly he is with his lawyers, but they found these because his lawyers were helping him move. I don't even know what the charge rate. I'm gonna have to ask Ricada. Hey, if one of your clients wanted you to help him move, what's the going rate on that? We're not talking about when he leaves the White House. When he leaves the White House, having a lawyer going through all your stuff, okay. Leaving the Penn Biden Center, why in the fuck would you need to clear all of the documents?
Well, that's why I maintain that there were other things there that they were actually looking for, and this was the ancillary stuff that they're just like, just send it back to the archives.
Or they were getting ahead of it because they'd already used what they needed. And
they'd already destroyed whatever they were looking for.
We'll just tell them we have these. That'll look less. Anyway, Hunter recommended the aide who didn't know there was that they were classified. Sure. So the guy who helped get this all set up hadn't been vetted? That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
And again, we don't know exactly what's in these. All we've heard so far is that some of them have to do with other countries, which we know during the Biden administration, they were spying on other countries.
Yep. But don't worry, these were held in a very safe broom closet that some rando aide had access to, apparently.
By the way, it's not unusual to even be spying on your allies.
No, the Israelis do it to us all the time.
But the Biden administration took it to a new and
disturbing
more level. Yes. Do we ever find out what's in these documents? Carmen, no, we didn't. And by the way, I am trying to keep an eye on thing. I got to get that. Somebody told me that there's a plug-in to get so I get the chat popped out over here. But I am looking a little bit. But yeah, they haven't told us what's in these other than that. One was about the UK. Was one China? I can't remember. There's like 3 countries they've named that said that
I know Ukraine and Iran were in there.
Oh yeah, I know Iran. Was Ukraine the other one? Okay.
Yeah.
So the UK, Ukraine. I know the UK was in there because that was the one that made my head go, wait, the UK? Huh. That's interesting. I don't even remember what was going on with Obama in the UK back in the day.
Well, remember he gave back that bust of
Churchill.
Winston Churchill and gave the Queen a recording of his stuff. He really hates the UK for some reason.
He really did. Maybe because they were colonists.
Yeah, I think it blamed them for a lot of the stuff that like his dad's situation over in Krapistan.
Yeah. And giving back the bust of Churchill, Jesus Christ. Look, Winston Churchill, not a perfect man, but this is Churchill, for fuck's sake. Our closest ally during World War II.
Yeah, well, he probably liked Stalin a little bit more.
Probably, yeah. Navy SEAL deserter Daniel Swift killed while fighting in Ukraine.
What?
Well, that made sense.
Yeah.
He deserted the U.S. Navy SEALs back in, I want to say 2019. Yeah. And then when this all popped up, he decided to go fight for Ukraine. How'd that work out, Daniel? Frankly, you should have been put against a wall for deserting. Which side? He was killed by the Russians, so he was on the Ukrainian side, of course. A deserter, good riddance. Yeah. You know what happened back in the day if you deserted? They would kill you.
Yeah.
And this goes all the way back to the Continental Army. You deserted, they would kill you. And now we're like, it's all right. And we're not talking just a normal soldier, man. This is a SEAL.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They would probably trade 5 or 6 terrorists for him like they did with Bergdahl.
Oh, of course they would. Former U.S. Navy SEAL who deserted in his military post in 2019 was killed Thursday while fighting in Ukraine, friends and officials said. I believe it's the State Department that confirmed, yeah, he was killed over there. Godzilla, thank you so much. So what stops Obama from just saying he declassified these files before Joe somehow got them? Just seems like a distraction when Obama Ferry can fix. Obama's not going to tarnish his name over this.
Yeah, not when there's such a seeming push to get Biden out.
Yeah, because if he did come out and say that, he would have to tell us, really? Well, which ones were they? And that's Trump can go out there and say, I declassified everything. And they go, okay. Obama would have to say, okay, I declassified everything. But okay, well, where's all the other stuff why was it so few things? It would just be too evident what was going on there. That's all. Plus, Obama did not like Joe. Obama doesn't like Joe. He might have even liked him at the beginning, but he became a distraction for Obama for 8 fucking years. Every time that idiot opened his mouth, Obama had to go out there and apologize for him.
Yeah. Joe said dumb shit routinely. They had to hide the man from the press because he loves a camera and he's full of crap and he says retarded things.
Evolve says death from desertion goes back to ancient times. It does, but I was just American history because we have this thing here like, well, cruel and unusual punishment. It's how it started. Yeah, and Eagle's right. Washington hanged a guy for desertion. But this motherfucker, he got to go on a plane to Ukraine. And honestly, I don't care that he's dead. I just thought it was an interesting story. Apparently, the Russians fired an RPG. Russian soldiers launched an anti-personnel rocket grenade at Swift and 2 other soldiers. The 2 other soldiers survived, but he had massive brain injuries. So he's going to be president soon. See, that was a callback. Yeah, so he did. And good, fuck him. I don't care. Oh, God, this fucking story. All right.
Sorry, I was eating a Dorito.
No, you're fine. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we have to give trigger warnings for these kind of things. There's going to be some disturbing words on the screen. I'm not going to read them, but it's part of the story. So I apologize for anybody who's offended. Kylene, ISD teacher, assigned racist word search to middle schoolers.
Like you do.
Editor's note, the following story includes images with racial slurs and language some readers may find offensive. 25 News has decided to release the documents in full for greater transparency with our audience. I think trigger warnings for something like this are stupid, but it's the kind of thing you have to do these days.
Yeah, well, everybody's sensitive.
I am not going to blow up any of the pictures.
That attitude, quitter.
No, have you seen this?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't actually see the Word search.
Yeah, guys, this is not one of those cases where, oh, they're being overly sensitive. Not even close. Not even close. This woman, or I think it's a woman, deserved to be fired for this.
Did you send this to Adonis? Seems
I
like
did
something
not.
Valley.
I think it was Shio who sent it to me.
Ah, okay. Well, AP may have already heard about it. Him and Shio have similar taste, I think.
Kylene, Texas, ISD and one of its teachers have parted ways after the educator assigned middle schoolers worksheets loaded with racial slurs and language that the district called extremely disturbing. For example, the top, this is draw a line that matches the word with its definition. And I don't know if you've noticed, all of the lines go straight across.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
And they are the right answers.
Before you exit out of this, will you drop the link in the chat?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I forget, please remind me. You know what? Let's just do it now before I forget. Da-da-da. There's that for those of you on YouTube, and over here on Rumble, we could actually read the words, but not here on YouTube. The first one, for instance, says retard, to make slow, delay development. Ugly, very unattractive, unpleasant to look at. Dumbass. I love the dumbass is on here. A thoroughly stupid person, blockhead. Idiot, a person with severe a severe mental illness. Bitch, a malicious, unpleasant, selfish person, especially a woman. The next one I can't read. It says a contemptuous term used to refer to black people. Yeah, that's on here, written in. Anyway, dude, a crackhead is on here too.
Yeah.
Fucking crackhead. Tiana Maya, a spokeswoman for the district, told 25 News she's unsure if the teacher was fired or resigned, but both parties have separated. Maya said the educator was recently hired and joined KISD on August 15th of 2022. That job lasted long.
The other assignments is like color by word.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we're getting there. They're down here. The assignments appear to have been created January 11th and include words and word scrambles and searches rife with epithets titled Trigger Word Scramble. And in this one, you have to color by word. The words are dumbass, stupid, idiot. Stupid is on here twice. I don't know why. I noticed that when I was looking at it.
Yeah, I noticed the N-word's not on here.
It's not on this one. Well, they did assign the color brown to... Never mind. This just shows when it was created and which words are on there. And then the word scramble where you have to fill in the missing letters. And then finally, Jack, my favorite part, because it shows this child got it all wrong. You have to use each of these words in a sentence. And they just took each of the words and put your in front of it, but they used the wrong your.
Yeah.
So it says you're retard, you're ugly, you're a dumbass, you're a idiot, you're a bitch, so on and so on. But they spelled your wrong every time. This is middle school.
Technically, that could be a possessive for the first one.
Your retard?
That
yeah,
is
right.
your retard.
Yeah.
You have been assigned one.
Biden is our retard, so yeah.
Yeah, they probably could have done that at the N-word too, but that would have been super
But
racist.
I don't think that's how the child meant it.
Probably not. Which,
and even then, that would be, I mean, very few instances where your retard would be a proper sentence.
Well, it depends. Who's retard? Your retard.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there are instances where it could work, but yeah, this is just a kid who can't write. And he got all the other ones right.
Yeah.
Spell the shit out of those. Granted, there's a list of them, but
Karma makes a good point. She specifically capitalized the B and N there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have no problem with that teacher not being a teacher anymore.
Yeah.
That's
makes a good point too. Your bitch could also be correct. That's your bitch.
That's your bitch. Yeah. True. Your ugly just doesn't work that way. I mean, I guess that's your ugly. You could use that way. But let's be honest, that kid's just stupid. All right. Stop trying to give the kid a credit that he doesn't deserve.
That's fair.
Nick Ricada is going to be having Kyle Rittenhouse on for an interview.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
He had a video up today where he kind of went through the timeline. You would think with all of the attention Rekieta got for that case and brought to that case, that he would have been a natural for Kyle to go on there.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle had been on so many other places, but apparently some middleman kept him from going on there. The middleman is no longer there, so I believe it's next week Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be hanging out with Rekieta for a night. So I'm going to have to remember and try to get our show done before that, because he's going at 11 p.m. Central Time. So, all right. Now, this one, I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about the story, but then I got distracted because CNN is such a shit news network that I didn't even read the story, Jack.
Oh.
This is the headline. Idaho killing suspect followed 3 female victims on Instagram and repeatedly messaged one. People reports. People being People magazine.
Yeah.
This is CNN writing a story about what they read in People magazine, which, by the way, happens all the time these days. News stories, reference other things. What bothered me about it is if you look right here, it took 4 goddamn people, 4 fucking people at CNN to write a story about a story they read in People.
Well, I mean, are you surprised? They're not
Yes.
used to doing actual journalism.
4 fucking people. But we've been following the case, so that's what first grabbed my attention with the headline, and I saw that. You got to be kidding me. Brian Koberger, is that how you say his name? The 28-year-old man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students followed all 3 female victims on Instagram, but they didn't follow him back, People reported, citing an investigator familiar with the case and their own review of the now deleted account. And then it goes into the rest of it. So he was kind of following these chicks on. Isn't the theory that he was actually involved with one of them?
No, he was stalking one.
Well, okay, yeah, stalking the one of them.
So I guess in his mind he was involved.
They just glam on so they can justify having a salary. Look, man, I expect stupid from CNN. I do. I expect stories that say, according to Teen Vogue, because I've seen that before.
Yeah.
If you read through the article, it's just them relaying the information everybody already knows, or the part that they got from People there, and it took 4 goddamn people to do it.
Oh, it's very hard, Monkey. Writing stories is hard.
Most of the stories, them just lifting it from the fucking source.
It's really complicated.
Pizza Hut set a world record, Jack.
I saw this.
We could probably show the video. We'll turn off the sound because I really don't give a shit about the sound. Da-da-da. They made the world's largest pepperoni pizza.
Oh, good for them.
And I just want to point out, and I said this on Twitter, at a time when we're hearing about it, half the world is starving, America, with our capitalism that they think is so bad,
Capitalism
is making a giant fucking pizza just because we can. This is capitalism here. This is capitalism at work. They're making, by the way, they're donating all of the pizza to a food bank. So good on them. But just for the fuck of it, we're out there making the world's largest pizza while communist countries are having to, eat their fucking zoo animals. That's what people want us to turn into.
Yeah.
You know what?
Punish us for our success.
I'll stick with capitalism, Jack.
Right?
Is that the last of the stupid shit that I wanted to talk about? No. There's one more. For those of you who don't know, yesterday was the day that Marty McFly jumped to in Back to the Future 2, when he jumps into the future.
Oh.
Yeah, it was yesterday. And coincidentally, for those of you new to the show, you're not going to understand why this is coincidentally. We'll explain. This story comes out that same day. I accidentally married my cousin, but we had a baby and we're still together.
Is this in Alabama? Because that seems like a normal occurrence.
Oh, my computer's acting up. No, I don't want to see your stupid video. I want to share the screen like I told it to. Jesus.
No, watch the video, monkey.
This is the lady right there. She married her cousin. A rising TikTok star has stunned fans by revealing that she and her husband are related by blood. So she's English, obviously. Donald Camp, thank you for that. Feminist, $12 for Little Butt and how amazing Ben Riley is. Thank you so much for that. Feminist, $12 for the American Heart Association. And this is Kyle. Thank you. I go to a restaurant in my town that at one point made the world's biggest omelet. Wow. You know why? America, bitch. They won't do that right now, though. I guarantee it. Eggs are expensive.
Oh, so true.
We got to get all them chickens back, man. How long does it take chickens to hump?
Not very long.
Anyway, Rising, when she related there by blood, and she says she's only learned the dark secret while she was carrying his baby. Well, at least it wasn't before they got married, you know.
Yeah,
it's a little different if you find out after the fact, and rather than, you know, you met at a family reunion.
Those family reunions are not great places to pick up chicks.
I don't care how dirty your drunk aunt is. Stay away from her if it's blood. Anyhow, Marcella Hill, who has raked in almost 300,000 followers on social media with her health videos, shared a shocking story. You don't have to keep telling us over and over. So I've never told anyone publicly that I accidentally married my cousin. Why would you? The Utah mom. Oh, so she's a Mormon, dude.
Start to think, you know, any collective enclave like that is going to have a lot of people that are related and don't know it.
Yeah, if you're in Utah and you marry anybody from Utah, you're probably marrying a cousin. Throwing that out there. Da da da. I thought Back to the Future was 2015. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
I was thinking you were referring to the specific day, not the year.
Yeah, I was talking about the day, but it's still funny to make the incest joke, okay?
Don't ruin the incest joke.
Stop stepping on the incest joke. Marty would have totally banged his mom, all right?
No, he fingered her.
No, I'm telling you, he would have at least fingered her. He'd have been like,
that's fucking gross. I don't think he would have, but she apparently kisses her brother, so what do I know?
Exactly. And then she would have been he'd have been smelling it the rest of the night. He'd have gone up to his friends and been like, Doc, smell this.
Gross.
I'm a little ashamed of myself for that one.
Doc.
Doc.
Does it smell right to you? Is her pH balance off? Marty, douche hasn't been invented yet.
Wash your hand. The picture's starting to fade. Oh, man. Does he disappear if he bangs his mom?
It depends if he's his own father, doesn't it?
I mean...
Did you ever see Time Runner?
No.
About a guy on a dirt bike that accidentally goes through a temporal portal to the past, and it's the Old West, and he bangs this chick, and it turns out it's his grandmother, and he's his own grandfather. Yeah. It had the guy that played Remo Williams. Fred Williams, I think it was. Great actor. Good movie. Kind of fucked up.
If you're new to the show, Monk insists on making the joke every time. I can't help it. It's not a joke. I really do think he's a young, what is he, like 16, 18 in that show? His mom was hot when she was young.
Yeah, but it's still your mom.
I know. It's in the past. Nobody's going to know. Like just slipping a digit. Do you think she would have said that feels like my brother's fingers?
Fred Ward. Thank you, Assassin. Futurama was about 20 years after this movie, guys. So Futurama stole it from Time Runner.
Yeah, he still would have banged her, I'm telling you. All right. Los Angeles hit and run driver who plowed into his mom into mom and baby in stolen car is murdered after light sentence. This is the guy we watched. Did we watch the video?
I don't remember.
I
watch
think
a
we
lot
did.
of stuff.
There's a mom with a stroller pushing it, and this car is coming down this back alley, and he purposefully swerves and hits her. And then he starts to drive off, and this truck that's coming down, this not like a semi, but a pickup truck, rams into him and stops him to get murdered or street justice. It sounds like murder, actually, not like somebody did this on purpose, or at least over this act. A Los Angeles 17-year-old who ran over a mother walking her baby in a stroller in 2021 and received just a few months of diversionary camp as punishment was gunned down in Palmdale, California this week. Christopher Baca, whom Fox News Digital has previously not identified due to his youth. By the way, every news story about this says that. Pled guilty to the hit and run last year. Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Coroner's Office confirmed his death Friday, but said the examination is still pending. Deputies found him dead with gunshot wounds in a Palmdale driveway. Sources close to the investigation said he had been at a fast food restaurant earlier trying to get with a girl, which is probably what got him shot. He was probably hitting on the wrong person. This is Kyle. Thank you so much. He died in my town. You guys should erect a plaque.
Right.
As he walked home alone, a car pulled up next to him and an argument broke out. Someone in the vehicle opened fire, then sped off. The young mother, who asked only to be identified as Rachel, eventually moved her family out of Los Angeles to get away from what she described as a soft on crime policy, which is true. That's what's going on there in most major cities these days. You know, because that helps bring the crime rate down. The universe delivered the justice we weren't given in court, but a much harsher punishment than he'd have been dealt in the court of law, she said. And there's some other stuff there, but I want to get to her final quote down here. I think I feel shorted by the system because they didn't hold him accountable, and sad, not for him, but for his mom a little. Because if Gregory Gascon had actually did his job, this kid would be in jail alive.
I don't feel bad for this kid at all. And it kind of surprises me a vigilante didn't shoot this guy.
Well, I mean, for the most part, vigilantes like that don't exist. I'm telling you, he got shot for hitting on that chick. I will almost guarantee it.
Probably.
He was messing with the wrong guy's girlfriend. And she made a phone call, and he went to deal with this guy, and then they shot him. That's my guess. I have nothing to base that on other than it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this. I had not seen this article. Yeah, I kind of agree with her about his mom, because that's what she said. Not really sad for him, but for his mom, because if the justice system had worked how it should, yeah, he'd be behind bars by right now, but he'd be alive. An unexpected consequence of these soft on policy crimes. You know what? This isn't like new. People get out on soft on crime shit like this all the time and end up dead. We only talk about the ones, you know, where they go out there and commit more crimes, but yeah, they're criminals. They tend to deal with criminals and do criminal shit. You know what happens to a lot of criminals, Jack?
They end up dead.
They end up dead.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. I just I'm a little disappointed that that they're so late on crime that this sort of thing can even happen.
This kid, he was 15 at the time he did it, purposefully drove that car into that woman.
Yep.
He should have been in prison.
Oh, absolutely. But no, we gotta feel bad for him. Shut up.
Instead, they sent him to day camp for like 5 months, I think it was.
Something ridiculously low.
Yeah.
We talked about it when it happened, I think.
Yes. And yeah, I don't care that he's dead. He's a scumbag. But
yeah,
I do get her sense, especially as a parent, which is probably where she's coming from. You know, if that was your kid, yeah, you know, I'd rather have him locked up than dead. Anyhow. And so do a lot of innocents in their wake. True, Faithless.
Yeah.
The soft on crime policies don't help anybody.
No.
Seriously.
You're not helping anyone. It's not lifting anyone up. It's just letting more criminals on the streets
That's not true. You know who it helps? Politicians.
and criminals.
Politicians and, well, yeah, criminals. You're right about that too. But it does absolutely lift up politicians as people like AOC go out there and bang their fucking drum. We need to have less bail because these people, they just can't pay it. They were only stealing bread.
Ugh.
Her stupid fucking shit like that.
Well, because people like her never have to live with the consequences of what they put in place.
Yep. Who is that mayor? There's a mayor somewhere who, when he became mayor, he moved into the worst part of town. I forget his name.
Oh, I don't remember who did that.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Every politician should have to do that. You're gonna represent us. You need to go to the worst place you're representing. Go live there for a while, and get back to me.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You think if AOC had to live in the worst part of her district, that she'd be soft on crime?
I think she would just be in the fetal position crying all the time.
U.S. no-fly list leaks after being left in an unsecure airline server. Unsecure airline server? What? The list was discovered by a Swiss hacker, contains names and birth dates of over 1 million entries. Shouldn't the no-fly list be public anyway?
Probably.
This is one of those things, like, there's no reason for that to be secret. You shouldn't have to find out at the airport that you're not allowed to fly. What national security does that protect, saying, okay, you guys are not allowed on my plane? Oh, they might try to fake who they are. Learn to spot a fake ID, bitch. You guys are starting with the fucking facial recognition anyway, so fuck off.
No, it's an intimidation tactic, so political opponents that they don't like, they can surprise with it and be like, ha, you wasted your money. You're on a no-fly list. Fuck you. It's a bully tactic.
A copy of the U.S. no-fly list is leaked after being stored on an unsecure server connected to a commercial airline. For the record, Nick Fuentes ended up on this list for a day or so.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes is a cocksucker, but he's not going to blow up a plane. There's no reason for political dissidents who are no danger to this kind of shit being blocked from flying. This should be for terrorists.
It should be, but they do regard political dissent as terrorism now. Ask any parent in Fairfield County or Fairfax County, whatever it is in Virginia. They're going to weaponize this because that's what politicians do, and they're going to use it against their political enemies as an intimidation tactic. They embarrass you in public. They intimidate you into not being able to travel a specific way. This is China's social credit shit. You fall in line or you don't get to do things other people can.
Didn't a U.S. congressman end up on this?
Yes.
Yeah. The no-fly list is an official list maintained by the U.S. government of people it has banned from traveling in or out of the United States on commercial flights. As first reported by the Daily Dot, a Swiss hacker known as Maya, I don't know how to say that, arson crime moo? I don't know how to say that either.
His name is Swissy McSwisserson.
All right, Swissy McSwisserson discovered the list on an unsecured Jenkins server one night while poking around on Shodan, a search engine that lets people look through servers connected to the internet. Like so many of my other hacks, this story starts with me being bored and browsing Shodan, or well, actually, Zumai, Chinese Shodan. That should not be a thing. Looking for exposed Jenkins servers that may contain some interesting goods, he said. At this point, I've probably clicked through about 20 boring exposed servers with very little of it of interest when I suddenly start seeing some familiar words. ACARS. Lots of mentions of crew and so on. Lots of words I've heard before, most likely while binge watching Mentor Pilot YouTube videos. Jackpot, an exposed Jenkins server belonging to Commute Air. Good job, Commute Air. I hope you liked having business.
Right.
Because the feds are going to come down hard on them over this shit.
Oh, yeah. But, I get it. Good on them for not securing this so we can all laugh at it.
bad on them for not being like, fuck it, we're going to show this anyway.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is, with the Biden documents, unless there's something really disturbing in there, it's probably something that I would say needs to be put out in the public anyway. I'm tired of our government hiding shit. So much. How many times have we seen FOIA requests and they get the documents that there's no reason that there should, it's not like you're saving a spy's life or anything.
Right.
You're not protecting a confidential source, but the whole fucking document is just blacked out. Yeah, well, you guys, that's just a little too dangerous for you guys to know.
Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. If she lived in a bad area, AOC would still be soft on crime. She'd just be soft on crime with a lot more armed security because she's one of the upper class, the betters. Sadly, you're probably right.
That guy who did that, politically, me and him are not aligned, but on that, I give him a lot of fucking credit for it.
Yep.
Because there was one of his campaign promises, and he lived up to it. He could have been like, "Nah, guys, fuck, I'm not going to live down there. Have you seen that place?" And it looks like he's living in a fucking tenement, man. But good on him for doing it.
It takes a lot of guts to do that.
It really does. Our politicians all live in the nicest, cushiest places they can possibly fucking live. Even if you're in a really poor district, I guarantee they live in the nice part of it. And they never go to the dark side of town. I'm not talking about people's skin. I'm talking about, streetlights don't work there. Do the U.S. citizens want the most qualified leaders? No. No. I mean, if you asked them, they'd probably say yes, but no, they want the best bullshit artist is who they want.
Yeah.
This is American politics. Everybody says this. Everybody. I hate dirty ads. I hate dirty tricks. You know what? The person who's best at it always wins. Well, we all hate it, but somehow we all fall for it. We all listen to it. We all vote based on it.
I think it's whoever fortified it best.
Well, these days, Jack, times change. But yeah, people, they'll tell you what they want, and then the way that they act is not exactly the same.
True.
It's kind of disturbing in politics to watch. You repeat yourself, Jack. That's from earlier.
Yeah.
I really do need to find a way. I got to get that plugin. Does anybody know the name of that plugin? Or anybody who uses that plugin that I can reach out to so I can do this better? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even want to scroll down, man. Just from what I can see of the picture already, Jack.
I know.
Trans-identified male at center of Santee YMCA controversy had previously sued a gym for access to women's facilities. YMCA. Mudslinging is fun. It is. This is the same thing as with like, oh, I don't like drama, but everybody tunes into it. I guarantee you like some kind of drama. Anyhow, trans-identified male who allegedly exposed himself to a 17-year-old girl at the YMCA facility in California has stepped forward to reveal his identity in response to a January 18th rally held outside of the property. Okay. Christine Lily Wren Wood, 66. Oh my God. That poor 17-year-old girl had to see a wrinkled up old wiener.
Yeah, from Discount Flip Wilson here.
Addressed the crowd of counter protesters and stated, "I'm the scary transgender woman who that child misidentified as a man."
Oh, self-awareness. Thank you. Scary.
All right. I don't care if you put on the blonde wig and the pink baby doll outfit there. You still look exactly like a man. I see you got titties.
Those are like 60-year-old man titties. What are you
Those are man titties. Yeah, those are not the same. The Santee YMCA has become the subject of international concern after clips from a January 11th city council meeting went viral on social media. During the meeting, local teenager Rebecca Phillips became emotional as she told representatives that she had seen a nude male in the women's locker room in the YMCA.
No, what she actually saw was a feminine penis.
It's the longest clit in history.
Yes, well, it was engorged at the time because I don't know.
Look, it's spitting. Phillips said that she was showering after her workout when she saw a naked male in the women's locker room and became emotional as she recounted the ordeal. I immediately went back into the shower, terrified, and hid behind their flimsy excuse for a curtain until he was gone. I ran into a bathroom stall to change as quickly as I could, organized my thoughts to share with people at the front desk, and as I did so, I could only think of my 5-year-old sister who I bring to this gym during the summer, she said, tearing up.
Yeah, we talked about this when it first broke.
Yeah. This is not the Wii Spa one, guys. This is
a newer one.
Yeah. Phillips also said when she questioned YMCA staff about the presence of a male in the women's facility, she was told he was indeed allowed to shower wherever he pleases. So, yeah. I am Christine Lily Wren Wood. I'm the scary transgender woman who that child misidentified, Wood said. Yeah, even the child is able to tell the difference between a man and a woman. What's that say about you?
That he's going to sue that little bigot for a misgendering.
He then turned his attention to supporters and stated, "You're the people we truly love, and you're the next generation to make those Neanderthals irrelevant." Let's look at that Neanderthal. It's a small picture, but that's the Neanderthal right there. 17-year-old girl who wants to shower without a dick around her. What a horrible bitch.
Right? It's fucking bigots.
She should be put in stocks and people should be able to throw rubber dicks at her until she understands that the feminine penis is a beautiful thing.
It's true. She's got to get over her internalized misogyny.
For fuck's sake. There's a lot to the story that we're not reading. One, we have a lot more to get to, Jack.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is filler stuff. So there it is over there. Oh, you're already getting it on Rumble. Thank you, my friend. You often beat me over there, and I mean to mention it, and I never do.
Yeah. It's team effort.
Let's see. Oh, no.
What?
This is not going to help the argument about video games don't cause violence.
Video games do cause violence, monkey. Just ask anyone.
2 Marines defeated an AI system by using a trick from Metal Gear Solid. That's fucking wonderful, man. If you were stuck in a room with a bunch of soldiers and had to figure a way to move around without being seen, what would you do? Anyone that's played Metal Gear Solid before knows one method would be to hide under a cardboard box and only move when nobody's looking at the box. After all, who would suspect the box?
Right?
Excuse me. For a long time, the stealth move was considered one of the things that can only be done in video games. That was until a series of Marines were tasked with getting by an AI detection system without setting it off.
Allow me to explain how this happened. Look, everybody else has failed. What do? We're supposed to do this, and we're the last chance our team's got for this. My dad used to play this old video game where this guy would put a cardboard box on himself.
For Battlegrounds, in the book For Battlegrounds, Power in the Age of Artificial Intelligence, a story is told about how the Marines got past the system by using creative methods that the AI wasn't programmed for. One of these, hiding under a cardboard box, just like Solid Snake once did. That's fucking awesome, man. 8 Marines, not a single one got detected. They defeated the AI system not with traditional camouflage, but with clever tricks that were outside of the AI system testing regime. 2 somersaulted for 300 meters, never got detected. 2 hid under a cardboard box. You could hear them giggling the whole time.
Because they're like, it's working. It's
That's
working.
fucking awesome. Now they're gonna program the AI to see. Wait, did a box move?
Yeah, it's gonna be all paranoid about cardboard boxes, and they'll come up with some other thing like dressing up like trees.
Stay in
I
the
think
shadows.
this is great. This shows the adaptability of the human being.
Indeed, indeed. Can you talk for just a moment?
Yeah. No, I was real happy about this, seeing it. I thought it was a joke at first when I first saw a mention of the article, but yeah, got to think outside the box. This is real asymmetrical stuff, and if we're gonna stop our AI overlords, this is how it's gonna be done. So, what's up, chat? You never underestimate the box. That's true. Box is sneaky. Know what I'm saying? I dropped the link a second ago. Cannibal should be in there.
I'm be honest, man. I like box.
Everybody likes a nice tight box.
Box lunch at the Y is the best.
That's why cats enjoy sitting in boxes, because pussy loves a tight box too.
Indeed. This is Kyle. Thank you. In Solid Snake voice. I don't know his voice. Colonel, I can't believe this worked. I hope that's close. No, Megatron didn't fall. I had to blow my nose.
Megatron had snot.
Yeah. And of all the noises I don't want to make on stream, snot is one of them.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Really high on the list.
I hate sneezing on stream. Blowing your nose is just fucking gross. It's real loud in your ears. And
I don't like sneezing on stream just because of how loud I know it is for the audience.
Megatron is congested.
That's right. These things happen. All right. Treasury taps retirement funds to avoid breaching the U.S. debt limit. We haven't talked about the debt limit thing going on the show. And I was mucus trying to stop it. I was thinking, do I even want to do this? Because debt fights are fucking boring as shit.
Yeah,
but they are important. We have raised the debt ceiling like 76 times in the last 50 or 60 years, Jack.
Sounds right.
We keep every year or so, it's usually every year, but occasionally there's a gap there. They raise the limit of the amount of money we're allowed to spend, because there's a law that says can only go to this number. Once we get there, we can't spend anymore. I don't know why that's a law when all they do is change it. There was the Gephardt rule for a while that didn't make this a thing. It made it so if you passed the budget, it automatically raised the debt limit to account for it. And then in 95, when the Republicans took over, they got rid of the Gephardt rule. So now they're back to just voting every year to raise the amount of money you're allowed to be in debt. At this point, we're raising it so much that we're literally raising it more than the national budget sometimes. In recent years, and just like the last, I want to say it's the last 3 years, it's been raised like $10 trillion. And they need to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people out there who are like, oh, we should not have any kind of limits on this. Just vote for it or we're going to defraud.
Default.
No, what we should do is, okay, we'll raise it one more time. This is the final time. It's not going above this. We're cutting shit. We're cutting spending because that's what you do. In your household, if you are spending twice as much money as you're bringing in, there's going to be repercussions for it. You can't just go, no, I'll get another credit card, because eventually you're going to run out of things where you can borrow money. And all we're doing is borrowing and borrowing, and there's no limit to it. And so the Republicans are, Jack, we know what they're going to do. They're going to fold. They do every time.
Of course they will. They fold like a cheap card table every time somebody gives them any pushback. They're like, oh, no, please don't be mad at us. They're the beta male in a relationship with an angry woman.
Yep. And if you watch the news on this, they're acting as though the world is going to come crashing down. We've never defaulted on our debt, but it's not going to be a default. Everybody knows eventually it's going to be done. Stop your hyperbolic shit. The question is, can we do anything to stop from needing it to go up again? Because even though we're doing this right now, in a year from now, we're going to have to do it again.
They're going to do it again in 6 months. What are you talking about? They can't stop spending money. They're addicted to it. They just think it comes out of anywhere. That's why they're seizing money.
The Treasury Department is beginning to use special measures to avoid U.S. payment default after a federal debt limit was reached Thursday. I want to remind you guys, they just passed the omnibus bill last month.
Yeah.
They could have taken, they knew this was coming. They could have taken steps like, ooh, dude, maybe spending $2 trillion when we're about to reach our debt limit is a bad idea. Maybe sending $46 billion to Ukraine isn't the right time. Maybe sending Jordan money for their fucking border security is a bad idea right now. No? All right.
No, we don't secure our border, but we got to protect everybody else's.
And the last Congress could have voted to increase this, and they left it because Democrats were smart on this. It's dirty as fuck. But they knew they'd already lost Congress. So this would be put on the Republicans. And every time there's a debt fight like this, the Democrats always come out looking like the good guys. Exactly, Faithless. But Dems wanted unresolved to make the reps look bad. Absolutely. And the press will fall for it. Look what these Republicans are. They're going to make us all, oh my God, the fucking Republicans. Republicans have been in power for what, 12 days? But it's going to be their fault. Yeah. Yeah, it's all them. Stop falling for stupid shit, people. I know you guys, hopefully you guys are all smart enough not to fall for that shit, but they do it every time. Oh my God, we're going to have a government shut down those fucking Republicans. Maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, we should stop spending so much.
What are you, crazy? No, we gotta feed our bureaucracy machine that needs to grow. It's a growing baby boy. We need to feed that. Look, just because we're entering Soviet levels of bureaucracy where nothing can get done because nobody wants to work, but they all have jobs for some reason, doesn't mean we can't keep paying for that. Plus, all these illegals need free stuff, monkey. What are you, a heartless monster? We just got to keep printing more money like it's an endless supply and keep borrowing and borrowing because eventually people will shut us off. But so we got to get it now. Yeah, it's gonna fall apart.
Democrats have no problem with shutdowns when they're in the minority. They have no problems with shutdowns because they know they're never going to. It doesn't matter. Republicans will always be blamed. You can go look this up. This literally happened with the one Obama shutdown. This was all the Republicans wanted. They had some demands, but their main demand was that the Obama individual mandate be pushed back to the same date as the business mandate. This is where if you didn't have health insurance, you'd be fined or penalized, depending on whether they're trying to get it through the Supreme Court or not.
Yeah.
You'd be fined something like $2,000, I think?
Something like that.
And businesses, if they didn't offer insurance, also had a mandate, but it was pushed off to a year later. And the Republicans like, let's just match those two up. And they had a whole list of demands, and they go to Obama, and he's like, no. It's like, all right. So they cut back some of the demands. Went to Obama, and he said, no. And then they literally cut it back to just that. Took it to Obama, and he said, no. And the media reported that the Republicans refused to negotiate. They literally negotiated 3 times. The one who refused to negotiate was Obama. And that is exactly not how it was reported. It was reported those goddamn Republicans were standing in the way. They refused to negotiate. They had 3 separate fucking offers.
Yeah, refused to negotiate.
Refused to negotiate. The department is altering investments into government-run funds for retirees in a move that will give the Treasury scope to keep making federal payments while it's unable to boost the overall level of debt. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen noticed that they didn't cut that money to Ukraine.
Why would they do that, you big silly head?
We're going to fuck with retirees. That's a much better plan.
Yeah, just seize their money.
How about we don't send the money to Ukraine?
Well, every banana republic in history and dictator has done this. They go in and loot the banks.
Sure.
And retiree pensions from cripples and old people seems like a good thing to start looting first. Because what are they going to do? What are they going to do about it? Nothing. That's what they're going to do about
it. Excuse me. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, I fucking hate that lady.
I know. She's so sleazy.
Informed congressional leaders of both parties of a step in the letter on Thursday. She'd already notified him of the plan last week when she flagged the limit as the 19th. Yeah, this is the first time that I remember us actually passing. No, it's the second time that we passed the debt limit. Last time they did a very similar thing. Yellen reiterated that the period of time that the extraordinary measure will avoid the government running out of cash is subject to considerable uncertainty. Bullshit. And urged Congress to act promptly to boost the debt limit. Last week, she said the steps wouldn't likely be exhausted before early June. So they're going to rob some retirees to pay this stupid shit instead of cutting our budget back. That's the easy way to solve it. Cut the fucking budget. Cut the amount of outlays.
No, it's easier for them to steal money than it is to find something to cut, because they refuse to cut anything. They're spending addicts. It's like hanging out with gamblers.
Oh, it's bad.
This is bad. They're gonna personal bank accounts probably will be next, Eagle. It wouldn't surprise me.
Karma says 12 days and they've already put us so close to defaulting. Yeah, blaming them for it is
comically stupid.
Yes, thank you. I was going with asinine, but comically stupid is much better.
It's just so frustrating that they play these stupid little shell games and political games, and people fall for it every time because people are stupid. Let's be honest. And last time under Obama that they did a shutdown, he did this bullshit where he shut down the national parks, and the rangers and stuff had to be paid to be out there to keep people away from open air monuments on the National Mall.
Yeah.
So dumb. Such stunts. It's disgusting, these stupid little games. Even during a government shutdown, only like 15% of the actual government gets shut down. The rest is still functioning just fine.
Albino said it becomes where you have to exponentially borrow more because of the interest on the debt. Yeah, that's true too. The more you borrow, the more you owe just from the debt and the interest. It's not just, okay, I borrowed $10, I have to pay $10 back. If you borrowed $10, US interest rates, I want to say it's something like 10% around there ish right now. Don't quote me on it, but let's say 10%. If you borrowed $10, you owe 11. So every time you do that, you're just putting yourself more in debt, and not just because of the principal, the interest, man. The interest on our debt is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it disgusts me that instead of cutting something that they haven't spent money on yet, they would rather rob your accounts. How are people not sick of this shit? They'd rather steal from the elderly and the cripples, because that's what they're stealing from. I read the article very closely. Instead of cutting programs or saying, hey, we need to start reining things in and we shouldn't give Ukraine this much money. Instead, we're giving them a bunch of really expensive equipment, and we're letting all these freeloaders wander in, and they're looting your parents' funds. It's disgusting.
There's also, I mean, this isn't the only money that they spent, the Ukraine thing. Look at the infrastructure bill where there's money so that chip factories can be built in China.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's all kinds of favoritism going to China.
Yeah. That was supposed to be, we're bringing chip manufacturing to America so we don't have to rely on China. By the way, we're going to give them money too. There's no reason for that shit. And that's how they spent your money, and that's why your parents and cripples now, good luck, guys.
Yeah, they'll throw our own citizens to the wolves to favor China and all these other foreign interests. Whether it's the Guatemalan that wandered over the Rio Grande, the Ukrainians that are involved in a war that has nothing to do with us, or the Chinese that are paying off Joe's son.
How many people work in our own government that are doing things like making sure DEI is followed? Fire every one of them. There, you save some money.
Yeah, gut the IRS. How about
87,000 new. Oh wait, it's not actually 87,000. Have you seen this stupid shit? It's not actually 87,000 new IRS agents. Some of that is to replace some other agents, and some of that is for IT. Like, okay, let me give you that. All right, there's still an estimated something like 20,000 new IRS agents we don't need.
Yeah, that's not including like the Department of Education or their SWAT team.
Yep.
Or any of the other hundreds of different agencies that don't need to be what they're. Shut down the fucking ATF.
Yes.
And the FBI. How about
Yes.
that? How about we start there?
How much could we get? 3 million federal employees. You'll hear this anytime they talk about whoever's the biggest employer in the country. Like when I worked at Walmart, Walmart was the biggest employer in the country outside of the federal government.
Yeah.
It's always because the federal government employs so many people and they waste so much money.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not looking to get people fired who need to do, jobs and stuff, but if we don't actually need that, it shouldn't be done. I'm not for just paying people because, people need jobs. We waste so much money in this country. That 46 billion to Ukraine shouldn't be going there, but that's not going to keep our debt down for very long. We spend trillions of dollars a year. So it's a drop in the bucket. What we need to look at, the majority of our budget, no matter what they tell you about the military, the majority of our budget goes to bullshit social programs. That's what it goes to.
Yeah, and a lot of that goes back to the Great Society where it was handout city, and we got to stop that shit.
Yep.
The handouts, the foreign aid, all that bullshit adds up. All the stupid little projects that we complain about, they add up.
How about
studying the farts of koalas really isn't a high priority for us. I'm sorry.
How about that sweetheart shit that Joe Biden did when he comes into office and gives a shit ton of money to states for COVID, states that had massive budget surpluses. They didn't need the money, but Joe Biden came in, bam, gave him a shit ton of money that is not being used for COVID shit. But remember, the states, they're hurting. No, they weren't. California had a budget surplus and we gave them a shit ton of money for COVID.
Yeah, well, California leeches off the federal government quite a lot as it is.
No, man, you see, if California left, the U.S. would just be in dire straits.
Yeah, Yeah, and he shut down pipelines too. Don't forget about those revenue generators.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, Toadzilla, giant cane toad found in Australia weighing 2.7 kilograms. I don't speak this British shit.
It weighed a distance.
What is 2.7 kilograms in American?
It's fat.
Rangers say they were blown away when they spotted the monster cane toad, believed to be female. Okay, I see them holding it. They believe it to be female?
Well, I mean...
Instead of squeezing her legs together, pull them apart and look.
Oh, that'd be a rude monkey. Let me see your egg factory.
5 pounds? That's a big-ass frog, man.
Right? I'm starting to think that... Did you ever see the movie Food of the Gods or read the story?
No.
Okay, it's about this place where there's a substance that they call Food of the Gods. And every time an animal eats it, they get gigantic.
Oh.
So it's like giant hornets impaling people and stuff like that. I think Australia might have that.
We're being correct. It's actually 6 pounds. It's somebody said 5.94 pounds. Almost a 6 pound frog, man. Sorry, toad. Before somebody look, a toad and a frog, they're fucking frogs.
Nobody cares.
It's like when somebody dolphins and porpoises or alligators and croc. I don't give a shit. All right. They're all the same. The amphibian, which weighs 2.7 kilograms. I still want to say kilometers.
It's a distance.
It's my brain is fighting with my mouth right now.
There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not gonna follow through on.
Shocked rangers who stumbled across it. Queensland Department of Environment and Science said rangers were clearing a trail when they spotted the toad. That is fucking ugly. It looks like a turtle.
It's a weird looking animal for sure. This is how you get battle toads, guys.
Are they sure a turtle just didn't lose its shell?
Quite possibly, but I think this is the first step in fulfilling the video game fantasy of Battletoads.
I've seen some big ass turtles, is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, turtles can get huge.
Ranger Kylie Gray.
That is the most Australian name for a chick I've ever heard.
Said her team were blown away by the monster cane toad, that's the third time you've told me how much it weighs.
Yeah, well, they're all shocked by it, Monkey.
And it comes up again. Oh my God. She told the Australian Broadcasting Corp it was by far the largest toad she'd encountered. Said it looked almost like a football with legs. We weighed it when we got back to base. You guys want to guess how much it weighs?
Let me guess, like 5 kilograms.
It actually weighs 2.7 kilometers.
Oh,
well,
there you go.
Got back and weighed it at 2.7 kilos, which just shocked us, absolutely blew us away. You took that frog out of its home. You should have left it there.
No, we can't have it spawning more giant monster toads. Think about it. That huntsman spider won't be the creepiest thing you find in your living room. You're just sitting there watching TV and suddenly a giant toad jumps up on your lap like it fucking lives there, like it's your cat. You're going to freak out and shit yourself.
Eagle says it does look like the face of a turtle. It does. And when have you ever seen a frog with a neck? The fucker has a neck. So unlike, see, frogs and people are different. The fatter a frog gets, the more it gets a neck. The fatter people gets, the less we have of a neck. It just becomes part of our torso. All right. So big giant frogs in Australia. Just your somewhat daily reminder that Australia is a place where you go to die.
Yeah, there's monsters there. Here there be monsters.
Yeah, it's some Godzilla looking shit.
TK, they're a pest. We usually hit them with golf clubs.
We can't do that here. I saw, I forget where it was, but there was some animal abuse going on, and I don't remember if it was real abuse or not. But people reported it to PETA. I'm like, why in the fuck would you report animal abuse to PETA? They have no regulatory power, no enforcement power. What the fuck are you doing?
They like killing animals.
They love killing animals, man.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Steve Irwin. Crikey, look at that monster. Reminds me of the death claws in the outback.
I'm going to shove my thumb in its butthole.
Yeah, you got to get that super mutants to fight those death claws, though.
Many of you better have gotten the thumb in the butthole reference, or I'm going to be very disappointed in you.
Right?
Now, this is a video we were going to watch yesterday, Jack, but my internet was being an asshole.
Yes.
So I'm glad you brought this up. I had this on my timeline yesterday, but yeah, my internet was being a dick.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato, who's one of our Australians. Actually, cane toads should be killed on sight. They are an invasive species and are pests. They need to be eradicated from this continent. I agree, because apparently they mutate into giant monsters that are going to lay siege to one of your cities at some point. So yeah, best to eradicate them now. We have that problem with pythons in the Everglades, and they're killing all the crocs off.
I hear you, but this is Australia. You guys have a shit ton of feral cats. Set them on them.
You would think so, but look, they have a lot of invasive species problems. Apparently, if they're mutating into giant monsters, can you imagine how small koalas were before they showed up? And they've got enough poisonous shit running around. They got the huntsman spiders, they got bunyips, they got yowies, they got all kinds of crazy shit. Drop bears. Australia is a deadly place, I'm telling you. Plus, 8 of the most venomous spiders live there in the world. So, and it's surrounded. The whole continent is surrounded by jellyfish that are the most deadly on Earth.
Eagle says they're poisonous. That doesn't stop a cat. And these are feral cats. One of the stories we read, God, 2 years ago now, Jack, was they have a problem in Australia where feral cats are killing off all the other animals. Cats just like to kill. They're one of the deadliest animals on Earth.
Oh, cane toads are poisonous too. So not only are they going to mutate into human size and develop thumbs, they're poisonous on top of that. Great.
Carrier says cats can't eat them. Cats don't kill just to eat. Cats just like to kill.
Yeah, they kill for sport. It's scientifically proven. We read an article on that, I think.
People are the only ones who kill for sport. Like, you never met a fucking cat before?
Karma said no species is illegal.
Exactly. How dare you call them invasive? That's so xenophobic.
Cane toads make a pop when you run them over.
See, Evolve says cats know not to eat the toads. Again, not eat, just kill. Just, psh. Are you trying to make poisonous feral cats? That would actually be kind of cool. As long as they're in Australia.
Yeah, we got enough problems here.
All right.
Although it would clear up the homeless problem in California pretty quick.
Period poverty doesn't just affect women.
Made it 3 seconds that time. I think Chauncey kind of nailed this one. A male period is called diarrhea.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Remember when Cartman thought he had his period and it was just he had an ass bleed? If you're a man and you find blood in your underwear, you need to go to the hospital, not to the sanitary napkins at Walmart.
Yeah, you should absolutely go to the emergency room. Like, don't fuck around with that.
As far as period poverty, look, I understand the concept behind it. Women who can't afford it. Okay, you got a little bit of an argument there, but it's not the problem they try to make it out to be. Seriously, $10 a month is what we're talking about. $10.
Yeah.
We could not pay Ukraine and take care of any period drought that we have here. I can't afford tampon. All right, here you go. It's $10. Yeah, thank that fucker Putin.
Most social services will give you free maxi pads and tampons.
Yes, but period poverty. Oh, fuck. All right, dude. Tell me about your period. Oh, I've seen this, Jack. I don't want to hit play.
I'm pretty sure that's a woman biologically who thinks she's a boy. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I did a video a long time ago of somebody. It was a trans man bitching about their period. Like, men get periods too. Like, no, you're a chick. You can dress like a man. The reason you get a period is because you're a chick.
If this chick had a slightly rounder cheekbone area, like a little chubbier cheeks, she'd look like my 7th grade math teacher.
All right. So the male vagina here is about to have a period. If we can have a female penis, we got a male vagina, right?
I guess.
I'm just saying. Oddly, I hear it looks like a female vagina.
Well, if there is a male vagina, then you shouldn't have gotten in trouble for calling a guy as sensitive as a clit.
That's true. I shouldn't have gotten in trouble for that anyway, because 1, it was funny, and 2, the internet has since stolen that joke, and I see it all over the place now.
Yeah, and it was accurate.
That is so annoying. I had to delete it, and I had a 7-day timeout for it.
Let's gave them plenty of time to run off with your joke.
Every time I see that fucking joke, it pisses me off. All right, back to period poverty. All right, stupid.
Two-spirits, trans men, non-binary people, and genderqueer people can all have periods.
If they're women. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
And arguably, period poverty may be higher in these populations. Here's why.
Because they're insane? Comrade Kitty, thank you. This is a public service announcement. Don't put tampons up your butt, men. That is all. That's true. Don't put anything up your butt. That's an exit hole.
You ever seen a tampon dispenser or a box of free tampons in a men's bathroom?
No, because men don't have periods.
Oh, bigot.
And by the way, actually, they do have those on some college campuses now. They have tampons in the men's room. Let that hang out there. Real thing in America, 2023.
No, they have free mousies and telescopes in a package.
What about a period aisle not labeled feminine hygiene?
What do you want to call it? Retard Central?
They call it feminine hygiene because it's females who use it.
No, monkey, you bigot.
I don't mean to be all scientific and shit, but women have periods.
Yeah, well, no, see, those tampons can be used for bullet holes too. Also, it's man monthly soakers. I don't know. There's this nonsensical bullshit. These people are stupid, attention-seeking lunatics.
I am called a science denier because I actually pay attention to the science of global warming or climate change and can actually, cite facts to people that they don't like to hear. This fucking retard is arguing men can have periods.
Yeah, that's
And
just
that's a hero. I'm a science denier.
yeah, it's like Common Core math, monkey. This is new science. This is Common Core science. Biology, that's a science of hate, probably founded by Hitler. We have to ignore that as much as possible. And sexual dimorphism isn't a thing. You're just a bigot who believes right-wing conspiracy theories.
Greg says nosebleeds. And yeah, I had a friend once who had a nosebleed for like more than a week. And the doctors had him put tampons up his nose. It's a real story. If you have a really long nosebleed, they'll tell you to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't put tampons in your nose, guys.
Not unless it's
pink
funny.
boxes all around it. Periods can be a really
Wait, time out. That part was really quick, so I just want to get that. It's on the screen right there. You can read it, but let's hear this idiot say it.
not labeled feminine hygiene or pink boxes all around it.
Most of the tampon products I've seen are not in pink boxes.
No, they tend to. Well, Tampax is in pink, and a lot of them are. The pads are usually in like blue.
Yeah,
I know. I used to stock this shit, guys, for a living. If you need a period product, okay, even as a man, and you won't go down there and buy it because, oh my God, it's a pink box, then you're a fucking idiot.
First of all, who doesn't like a good pink box?
No shit. You're fuck you. You were offended at the color of a box. For real? This is probably one of those idiots who are like, oh my God, for a girl, you have to have a pink handled razor. You really don't. You could buy a men's razor if you'd like. They work pretty much the same.
And they're a little cheaper. No, this is one of those people that sees pink as a color the patriarchy has imposed on you. That type of nonsense shit. This is a cult. It's a weird cult obsessed with their crotches. It's very bizarre.
What colors should they be? Like camo?
No, they should probably be black. So in 20 years they can bitch about that, and then they'll be yellow for 20 years, and then they'll bitch about that, and then they'll be
no. You know what? They need to make it real manly and just go OC green.
Yeah.
Make it look like an ammunition box.
Oh, there you go. And then they'll in 20 years they'll be like, look, that's a patriarchal color. We need to get rid of that. The cycle never ends. They have to find something to bitch about to keep their stupid little movement going, so they feel unique and special, and they can make a bunch of money off it.
I just also want to point out that they said, or pink boxes all around it. This means they're not going for the pink box. They're just offended by the pink box being, apparently, I guess they're going for pads, which are all in blue.
Yeah.
Or at least they used to be.
I've seen some that are like the fancy tampons are in like black boxes, the expensive ones. I don't pay that close of attention because I'm not dating anyone.
They have some that are in white boxes. Again, I used to stock this shit.
Yeah. Well, they're just offended by they're looking for something to be offended by, but it's the feminine idea, the idea that there is a gender construct of any kind.
It's pink, yeah, because it is a feminine thing, and they're trying to make it look. It's a period. It's not happy for anybody, no matter what. Have a happy period. Do you remember that fucking ad campaign? Have a happy period.
No, happy period means you go on vacation while your wife rides out the red wave.
So they try to, and one also, if you're going to a family kind of bathroom in a house, you don't want an OC green tampon box sitting there with your pink frilly shit that the women typically buy and put up. Anyhow, all right.
Periods can be a really tough and dangerous time for people that aren't cisgender women.
How's it a dangerous time for non-cisgender women?
Thank you.
Are lesbians hunted during their menses? I don't understand this. Did they read that comic book about women that turn into kitty cats when they're on the rag? Because it's called Man Eaters. It's really fucking stupid.
It can be a dangerous time for non-cis women.
Yeah. Lesbians are known to be hunted around that time.
Lesbians can be cis women.
They call it lumberjack days.
I don't understand the danger part.
I don't either. It's fucking.
Is somebody throwing spears at these poor women? I'm sorry, men. All right.
If you're donating period products or putting them in your workplace or school, make sure they're in all bathrooms, or at least that all people have access to these products. Because blood has no gender, babe.
I feel like we've responded to this before.
So quirky and unique. Oh my God, it's unbearable.
Blood has no gender. Period blood does.
Yeah, well, it's got uterine lining in there, which does have DNA. So yeah, it probably is gender.
It is very specifically gendered. There's only one of the sexes that is having periods. And I don't care if you call yourself a dude, it doesn't change anything. Oh, fucking people. Oh,
Blood
okay.
has XX or XY2. Oh, that's fair, faithless.
Already did that. What's this one? Oh, yeah, this doesn't shock me. Speaking of the Ukrainians, CIA Director William Burns held secret meetings with Ukraine's Zelensky on Russia moves. Really? CIA Director William, not very secret.
Apparently not.
Made a clandestine trip to Ukraine last week. He was just here. He was just here. Why are we sending the head of our CIA over there?
I don't know. Probably to assess what they need so we could give them even more crap, except it's funneled through the CIA, through black projects. That way it doesn't have to be disclosed to Congress. I mean, we're already sending them, 59 strikers or 60 strikers and 59 Bradleys or some asinine astronomical numbers and stuff like that.
Clandestine meeting in Ukraine and briefed him on Russia's anticipated next steps. All right. This gets more dangerous every time we get deeper involved. And we've been doing this. The Russians are absolutely correct. You don't have to like them, but they are absolutely correct that they are basically at war with us. We are over there telling the Ukrainians how to act. They still have never confirmed it, Jack, but there was pretty good evidence that when they blew up the Russian flagship, that they did it with our intelligence.
Oh, yeah, almost certainly.
And we're over there again. Well, all we do is we give them some information. Their anticipated next steps. We're helping them strategize the war. That is us being involved. That is us being at war with Russia.
Yeah, which is why Russia has repeatedly had their apparatus of news networks repeatedly saying they see us as an adversary in this.
Because we are.
Yeah, and we have a very porous southern border that would allow plenty of Russian agents to sneak in to do stuff to us when they decide to actually strike us back.
Fuck, they don't even have to do that, man. If they're going to strike a direct war with us, there's pretty much only one way that ends up.
Nukes.
And we all know it.
Yeah.
I'm not on the Russian side here. I just don't think it's any of our fucking business. And this is just going to end badly because we're getting our nose in shit that's not about us. It's just not about us. And those idiots out there, it's for democracy. Fuck you. If this was about democracy, why in the fuck did we help overthrow their government to get Zelensky's forebearer in there? You know, democracy.
Yeah.
We like to talk about democracy when it goes the way that we want it to go. When I still don't understand why with Zelensky, because he's a shitbag, and so was the guy who came before him. It's all about that democracy, Jack. Now, fuck that. The official declined to say when the secret rendezvous took place. In addition to discussing Burns' expectations for Russia's upcoming military plans, the paper said the CIA chief also warned the Ukrainian leader that at some point, U.S. assistance will be harder to come by. Well, Jack, if assistance is harder to come by. How might you make sure that purse stays open? I know this is being a little conspiratorial here, but telling Zelensky something like that, it just sounds like they're going, it's time for a false flag.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the CIA set off a dirty bomb somewhere to frame the Russians for it. And let's be honest, they probably have some old Russian suitcase nukes floating around that they got from Ukraine. Because remember, Ukraine gave up its nuclear arsenal. Where did all those nukes go? A lot of them probably came to the U.S. for decommissioning. And they could track where the uranium came from. And if any of that came from Russia, which it likely did, or Ukraine, they can frame the Russians very, very easily. So let's say tomorrow San Antonio gets a little surprise. They're going to blame the fucking Russians. Yep. And they're going to be like, look what Russia did. And we're not going to be... How are you going to know? They've lied so much to us about so many things over the past few years. There's going to be a lot of people that just believe it.
Did you see Razorfist video today?
No.
He did a video today, said this is absolutely not an allegory. It's a really good video. It's about a student trip in South Korea that ended up in disaster because they go on these ferries and overnight the ship was listing a little, so they turned and it ended up falling over.
Oops.
And the whole time that this
is more of a Thai thing.
The whole time this is happening, they're playing over the speakers. Everybody stay in your rooms. Don't panic. Everything's fine. Everybody stay in your rooms. And only the people who disobeyed that lived.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a time. That was the ferry to Jeju Island.
Yeah.
I remember that story.
And it's absolutely an allegory.
Yeah.
It's clearly about shit that's been going on here lately, and specifically the COVID bullshit.
I read a great book on North Korea called Nothing to Envy. And there's it's stories by people that escaped North Korea.
Yeah.
And one of the women in there was talking about how during the Great Famine of the 90s, the families that trusted the government and listened to what they said starved to death.
Yep.
And the people that were like, yeah, fuck this, they're still alive. Them and the cannibals.
If you're counting on your government to save you, or if you fall for authority figures, look, that doesn't mean authority figures are always wrong, but you should always question, because a lot of time they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Trust but verify. Masks are totally effective.
Totally. All you gotta do is wash your hands. Wash them hands, guys. It'll keep the COVID away.
You're not my mom. I'm gonna go play in the dirt.
All right, and finally, a more I'm not sure I should call this a more lighthearted story, but giggling mother, 27, who was accused of stabbing her boyfriend to death in his sleep, lied to police that he had raped her and threatened to leak a sex tape of them on Facebook to make his life a misery. Murder trial heard. Shay Groves, 27, is accused of murdering Frankie Fitzgerald on July 17th of last year. Groves is alleged to have stabbed him 22 times, causing catastrophic blood loss. Can you get stabbed 22 times and not have catastrophic blood loss?
Apparently. I want to thank Shady Grin for giving me this article. This bitch is nuts.
She claims she was raped, but prosecutors say their sex had been consensual. Groves denies murdering him in a crime of passion at Havant Home, Hampshire. Oh, good God. She's got tattoos on her face.
Yeah, she's a delight.
Oh, my God. Look, I don't understand people who get tattoos on their face, but guys, if you see a chick with a tattoo on her face, run.
Yeah, unless she's a tattoo artist or in a band,
Nope.
that's a sign of crazy.
Nope, that's always a sign of crazy. Now, if you're looking to do butt stuff, get with her, but again, your name is not whatever your name is. It's Matt Smith or Tom Jones or Mike Tyson, whatever.
Dr. Functional. Women lie? Get the fuck out of here. And I don't think any tampons were used, Rogue.
If they had been, he might not have bled to death. It would have helped with all that bleeding.
That's true.
The damn pink boxes. He died because pink boxes.
Yeah, super absorbent pink.
A woman who allegedly giggled after she got a fucking lunatic's giggles after they stab somebody.
People that need to be in an asylum.
People with tattoos on their face. Giggled after she stabbed her boyfriend to death in his sleep, lied to police that he had raped her, and threatened to leak a sex tape of them on Facebook to make his life a misery. Mother of one. Oh, fuck. This woman's a mother. Shay Groves, a true crime fan who had pictures of serial killers such as Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer on her bedroom wall. All right, at some point, this becomes his fault.
Yeah, I don't know. He's blinded by the pussy. Like, the sex was probably amazing, but I don't know, man. Yeah, you've got to hold up the fact that he was still plowing this, and he had to have known she was a nutcase.
You went to sleep in a room with a woman who has serial killers on her wall?
Yeah. There's no good. There's nothing I could do to defend the guy. It's sad that he's dead, but poor decision making got him killed just as much as her knife did.
Guys, make some fucking better life decisions. Yeah, look, he didn't deserve to die. But what did you expect?
Right.
Look, we to say don't stick your dick in crazy. Certainly don't go asleep around her. Fuck.
Right?
Prosecutors told Winchester Crown Court that the 27-year-old fabricated claims that her boyfriend had abused and raped her and had previously threatened to make his life a misery by leaking videos of the pair. Alleged to have started using cocaine together in the months before the killing, having sex. So you were getting high, plowing a crazy bitch under pictures of Ted Bundy.
Seems like good decision making was at hand here.
That pussy better have been real good.
I would hope so.
She better have been able to blow you while you were banging her.
Yeah, she better have been really flexible so you could switch off really easily between all three ports. But I don't know. Maybe he had low self-esteem. I don't know what the guy's story is, but you should have recognized some warning signs here. There appear to be many.
However, jurors heard that Groves was obsessed with Mr. Fitzgerald's performance in the bedroom, that's in quotes, with the couple's sex life involving bondage, dominance, submission, and masochism, BDSM.
What? She's into bondage? I'm shocked.
I know, right? And that recordings had shown the sexual acts had been consensual. Yeah, if you're going to claim rape, you probably don't want it on video.
Probably not.
Groves even told Mr. Fitzgerald she could be woken by sexual intercourse in a note by the accused. Fuck. I bet her defense lawyer's just really happy he got stuck with this one.
Oh, yeah. He'd be like, who did I piss off in the office?
The defendant also blackmailed another lover with a sex... No!
What?
By threatening to show the video to his new girlfriend if he didn't do what she wanted, namely a lift to town and back for a night out, prosecutors alleged. He hit that when they did that. You know that, right?
Oh, of course he did. She probably made him. What are you talking about?
Probably.
He probably cried the whole time.
A note read out in court said, I, Shay Groves, give Frankie Fitzgerald permission to wake me up through sexual intercourse from the date of 22 March until further notice. I mean, okay. The mother of one was said to have owned 4 decorative knives with depictions of villains Chucky, Jigsaw, and Pennywise. Why were you with this crazy bitch?
I want to know where her kid ended up. Like, is that kid in custody? Like,
he's in a bouncy room for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that kid needs therapy really bad.
Which she and Mr. Fitzgerald used for knife play in the bedroom. She denies murdering the father of one by stabbing him 22 times in a crime of passion. So they each had kids. So one's now an orphan and the other one is a ward of the state. Good man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Chauncey, you're probably right. Feminists will defend her. Was that note notarized? We're not sure, Green, but probably not.
Jurors heard evidence from one of Grove's friends, this is the accused, that Vicky, or her name is Vicky, told police that she suspected the mother got a thrill from the abusive sexual nature of their relationship. Is she related to the chick who accused Trump?
Maybe. E. Jean Carroll?
Women like rape.
I can't believe she's fucking said that on TV.
She said rape was sexy.
Yeah.
Rape was sexy.
Oh, did you see they slammed Trump for repeating that line during
No.
his deposition? Yeah, the media jumped all over that for a hot minute. And then I think they figured out he was quoting her.
Quoted her, yeah. Somebody called me a liar for pointing that out that she said that. I'm like, no, it's literally on tape. It was so bad. Anderson Cooper kicked her out of the fucking network.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll have you back. And then she goes, don't, if rape is kind of sexy. Yeah, that bitch is gone. And look, that's not to say people don't have rape fantasies. It is actually a pretty common thing, but fantasy.
Well, they have domination fantasies. Nobody thinks rape is sexy unless they're fucking insane.
Winchester Crown Court heard the couple had a camera set up in the bedroom which captured them having sex, the recordings of which Grove was said to use to blackmail lovers. All right, I got to add this to it. So, you hook up with a woman and you have knife play with her in her bedroom underneath pictures of serial killers, and she has a camera in the bedroom. If you hook up with a chick and she's Dennis, leave. A woman who has a camera already set up to capture sex in her bedroom is not somebody you want to be with. That's a crazy bitch. Sorry, ladies, if any of you are like that, but you're crazy.
I feel judged for my camera.
You're a dude. That is a dude thing.
That's true. That's true. And you assume all liability when you walk in. Anywhere on my property, you're likely on camera, by the way.
In an interview with police, which was played in court, Miss Baytip, that's Vicky from above, said, quote, she compiles evidence against everyone to see how she can use them as leverage. Oh my God, she's Ethan Ralph. She said Groves recorded herself having sex with one ex-boyfriend and then threatened to show the video to his new girlfriend. She didn't do what he wanted. I would have said show it to her. Fuck it. If it wasn't during the time he was with his girlfriend, why'd you do that?
Yeah. I'm not driving you out clubbing, bitch. Just show my girlfriend the tape. I don't care. Maybe I could get her to do some freaky shit then.
Exactly, Resolute Germ. I hate to be like this, but at what point is this considered a suicide? This motherfucker was looking to die. Is this him? Ah, poor bastard. Oh, well, all right. I'll throw this in here for the rest so you guys can read the rest of it, but wow. Why would you stick your dick in that? Man, okay, I get plowing her once, okay? I do. I like crazy bitches, Jack. But warning signs, guys. Warning signs. There is a point where you just walk the fuck away and be like, yeah, that was fun. But I'm gonna go have a normal life. Gentlemen, be smarter. You know what? That guy should have watched some Andrew Tate videos.
Right.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I really do appreciate it, both here on the Twitter and here on the Rumble. You guys are awesome. Love y'all. Thank you for the donations, both to me, to Jack, but also for the ones to Little Butt. You guys are so, so very kind. Michael, thank you. She's doing gay ops to the kiddo. Oh, okay. Never mind. I get what that means. That's a donation to Little Butt. She had a kid, and that's where my mind went. I'm like, oh, God, please tell me she didn't touch that kid.
Well, she is doing gay ops, but she's fucking sad.
For life. Do you think she'll get off on this?
I think she'll get a light sentence because she's a woman, but
yeah. This is a crazy bitch who probably deserves the chair for this shit, but not that pussy ass needle. Nah, we need to bring back the electric chair.
And firing squads.
And you know what? They used to say, hey, it costs so much. You know how much electricity it takes? We'll put a windmill there.
And some solar panels.
Some solar panels. We'll make sure that it's environmentally friendly frying of people. I just, unfortunately, with the way our system is, women get off with a lot of murders, man. Hopefully she goes to jail. Hopefully justice prevails if she did actually do it. She did. But I just don't trust the legal system anytime there's women involved.
I don't either. But James Colley's right. If you see a chick with Marilyn Monroe images, that's a red flag too.
I hear you, but I would stay longer with Marilyn Monroe than Ted fucking Bundy. And Dahmer. She had Dahmer on the wall, for fuck's sake.
Well, maybe she planned on eating him afterward.
At least some. I mean, I know that some women find Dahmer attractive. I don't know why.
Maybe she was like, "Eat me like that 14-year-old at Dahmer's house."
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody like, "Oh, Dahmer's so cute." That's just fucking weird.
It really is.
Oh, fuck. What a fucked up story. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your generosity. You guys are awesome. Jack, anything you want to shill out?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos, including a new laundry video that came out today. I'm trying to build that channel up, so anybody that wants to help out, you can watch that video. But thank you all so much for the donations. Earlier, I dropped the Anderson Cooper link. If you guys want to watch that interview, you can scroll up and grab it. But thank you all for all the support you guys give us.
I will be doing something on twitch.tv. I'm not sure what. I had fun last night, Jack. I played some Phasmophobia by myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that game is creepy when you're playing with other people. It's downright scary alone. And it's fun, though. There were several times, if you guys want to see me scream like a child, last night was the time to do it. They kept scaring the shit out of me. And somebody in chat, I don't know if they were joking or not, but how can you be scared? It's a video game. My mind knows that. But it is such a creepy game with the atmosphere is so well done. The jump scares are like perfect. Yeah, I was scared, Jack.
That happens.
I don't know what I'll be playing tonight. Fuck, I might play Phasmo some more. Because apparently I gotta get levels so I get my new badge. They're changing the whole freaking leveling system in there. But they're gonna have a legacy badge for how many old levels you did, which, by the way, good on them for doing that. Yeah. So many games when they put in like a new leveling system or they have to do a wipe, you get no recognition for everything you already did. And it's a minor thing, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's like that. That's cool. A nice little nod that we'd actually done stuff before.
Spittle Buggy said, "You got Hollow Knight, Monk?"
I don't think I do. I might have it. I have a bunch of games on Humble because I forgot to cancel it. I think I have it over there, but I've never put it on my library. I'm almost positive I have it over there. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna want to play. I really do want to play Anno 1800 for those of you who enjoyed that little playthrough, and maybe I will. If we do, we'll be starting a new one because I told people this when I first played. I don't know how much I'm going to play because I still have to learn. I played enough to get the basics down, but I've learned so much more. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Yeah, Greg just said play some Anno. Maybe I'll play Anno tonight. It's a lot easier to pay attention to the audience when I'm playing that one, Jack.
Oh, fair enough.
If I'm like active in something like Red Dead, is almost impossible for me to pay attention to the audience during it. I have to wait till there's a dialogue scene I've seen 800 times before I can like stop and actually see what the audience is saying. Might play some Darkest Dungeon tonight. Do I have Darkest Dungeon? Is that really hard fucking one? Oh yeah, I like Darkest Dungeon. That game's fun. It's depressing though, because Darkest Dungeon is a game I swear you're basically meant to lose.
Probably.
It's a very it's almost, it looks like a phone game, but it's much deeper than one.
Oh.
And you get to a point where you have all these characters, Jack, and you can pick up new ones, and then they have to rest. But you get to a point where to do the next thing, you have to send out people who aren't rested, and it increases their chance of dying.
Oh.
And when they die, they're gone.
That's not good.
Yeah, it is really fun, but it's a tense game. It's a lot of fun if you guys never played Darkest Dungeon. Did they ever release Darkest Dungeon 2? I know they were making it. I don't remember if they released it. I'm going to stop talking about video games. I'll do that over on the video game channel. Guys, thanks for watching. Oregon Trail Monk will die more than Dark Souls. I played Oregon Trail. Somebody gave it to me over on stream. I forget, or on Steam. I forget who it was. So sorry when that happens. But I played through it, and I made it all the way to the end with all 4 of my people. I made it to Oregon, but I only played the one playthrough on normal setting.
Oh.
Didn't die anybody. They were all limping into Oregon. It was Comrade Kitty. Thank you. Yeah, it was Comrade Kitty. Yeah, that one's fun, but I lived. I'm smart. I've played those kind of games before. I'd never actually played Oregon Trail, but that one was fun. Anyway, we'll do that over there. Thank you for coming, Jack. A pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
If your crazy bitch girlfriend stabs you a bunch, get yourself some maxi pads, put it on the cut, and a tampon up your butt, and then go to sleep so she can kill you.